Hello, everyone. I just completely also threw myself off because I was looking at my Twitch feed. So I'm like, it's not coming up. I'm like, oh, shit. I just tricked myself with delay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special Helpful Goat presents The Witch is Dead. Yay? Wait, no, bad. That's bad. That's bad from our perspective. My name is Galway. I'm one of the founders of Helpful Goat Gaming, a small independent game design and game content creation community. And tonight we are going to be playing a one-shot RPG, one-shot, one-page RPG by Grant Howitt called The Witch is Dead, in which we are a bunch of small woodland creatures seeking bloody, bloody revenge for the murder of our beloved witch. Before we get started with the introductions, going over the game generally, proceedings, which I will leave to Chris, I wanted to do a couple of quick announcements. Joel is going off in chat with things that are spelled similarly, and it's kind of taken over my brain. Well, there went my language processing center.
I memorized it. I can't even speak.
No, I'm not going to read it 5 times fast, Joel. As I mentioned, we are a small independent game design community. People like Joel are beloved members of our community who give my brain conniptions while I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. If you would like to become part of this community and give my brain conniptions while I'm trying to remember what I'm trying to say, which is a lot of the time, honestly, you could use !Discord and get a link to join our Discord where you can cause me to have mental fits most of the time.
I never do.
Those mental stops and starts are how I got through 2020. It's fine. Much of it is just a blur. That might be the trauma. If you are interested in watching more of us playing various tabletop RPGs and other games, you can always follow us here, twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. We stream several times a week. Different campaigns, different systems, pretty heavy D&D bent, but all kinds of stuff. Coming up next week, we should have, I believe, schedule changes permitting, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, The Goats of Saltmarsh, where we play The Ghosts of Saltmarsh, DM'd by Rachel. I almost naively pointed. It's up. It's fine. Overlay. I remembered before I just pointed based on the camp, what the camps look like on my screen. On Thursday, Spire, in which Elise leads a group of investigators. Yeah, they're looking for things. Maybe the truth. Who knows? Maybe guilt. Maybe their own. On a murder mystery adventure in the world of Spire. And then on Friday, this coming up Friday, we should have, I believe, Tier Moontree Isle, though we haven't finally confirmed whether there's been a knock-on bump, but I think we're going to keep the same standard scheduling, in which the Marauders are probably about to run into a whole bunch of shit, honestly. I'm kind of looking
I don't like that
forward to that. It's fine.
No, sir.
I will just sick my new cabbage friends on them.
You can try. Yeah, and you can check out our archives on YouTube, which get updated as regularly as I remember to, which is unfortunately not super regularly. Adam's way better about that with the Fates of Rid episodes, but yeah, you can check out our gameplay archives there. You can also cats. Okay, that was necessary. I'm just gonna stop because
I'm sorry.
That is adorable.
Oh, Ottoman so much. It's his now.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I just saw him doing it. I was like, I must show the world.
Okay. While that is happening, I've completely lost it. Anyway, if you want other updates, you can also follow us on Twitter at Helpful Goat, Instagram at Helpful Goat, or look for us on Facebook at Helpful Goat Gaming. But the best way to get all of the updates, most up to date, and a lot of internal streams is to use !Discord to get a link to join our Discord. For the month of January, we are choosing to highlight the Trevor Project, which is a national charity that benefits LGBTQ youth. Lost that syllable. Can't even blame Joel for that one. In America. And one of the themes of our charities and other causes that we've been highlighting recently has been emphasizing communities that already face a number of challenges and usually face even more challenges in the wake of COVID-19. There's a lot of statistics out there about the many realistic real world challenges that LGBTQ youth face because of discrimination. We also strongly encourage you to maybe use the link to the Trevor Project and use that as a jumping off point to do research for organizations in your area that help the groups affected, because local charities will almost always have more of an impact in your community and also have a much more dire need for support, outreach, volunteerism. And remember that support does not have to be money. A lot of times the thing that they most need is someone to phone bank for them or someone to deliver things. You can even do things in a relatively COVID safe way. So please consider, if you can, checking those out, providing those resources. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. So I think with that, I am going to be turning it over to Chris.
Welcome to my dumpster fire of a GMing. We are going to do The Witch is Dead, an RPG about murder. Not murder, but murder. And tonight, I am so very happy to be playing, or no, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. Oh shit, I'm DMing. These 4 wonderful, helpless guinea pigs for my amusement. I have Rachel. Hi, Rachel. And Chelsea. Say hi, Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
Lena.
Hi.
And Galway,
Hello.
whom you've already heard because he did all the important stuff that...
Who wrote that
I don't know.
poem?
Huh? What? Who?
What?
What?
There's a poem posted by Helpful Goat about being seen and heard. Sorry, I just got distracted and I saw it there.
What?
Maybe Chelsea should read the poem this time, since...
Read the poem, Chelsea.
What the heck? Okay. Seeking revenge for the witch that is dead, we all look forward to the adventure ahead. With Chris at the helm and players all set, these promise to be the most amusing, murderous animals yet. So now to begin, for the plot to be stirred, Helpful Goat crew, you are seen and heard. But one more surprise, a recognition most fitting, for one who's always there for each Helpful Goat sitting. With much love and gratitude for all that you do, this time, Chelsea, we can say, we can see and hear you.
Aww.
Chelsea, you have been seen and heard.
Oh, that was so much better than what I do. Oh my god, that was good.
No, it wasn't. I don't even know who wrote it, but...
I don't know who wrote that. That was amazing.
Helpful Goat mystery controller.
Ghost. It's the ghost of HG. Okay.
Oh shit, we
so-
dead?
What?
I said, oh shit, we're dead.
Yeah.
Someone's dead. It's the ghost in the machine. That doesn't
there you
necessarily mean
go.
someone's dead. It's just there's a ghost in the machine who we are going to blame for any and all bad things that happen tonight. Right? Right. Okay.
Right.
All right. Let's introduce The Witch is Dead. This game is going to be a adorably vulgar, as in curse words. Lots and lots of curse words. Woodland animals as they seek their revenge for their beloved fallen witch. Once upon a time, there was a kind and beautiful and wise witch who lived in a forest with her familiars. And her life was peaceful and happy until a fucking witch hunter broke into her cottage, dragged her out, and fucking murdered her. And now she's dead. Because that's what happens when you get murdered. But if you familiars get revenge and kill him and bring his eyes to her corpse within 1 week, she'll come back to life. Or so you've heard. Even if it doesn't work, at least he's dead. The witch hunter has retreated to the village because he's a fucking coward. Get him. And that is pretty much the premise of our nice little RPG of murder tonight. So, in stream, we're going to roll to see what woodland creature familiar each player is going to be. And then you also get to roll to see what spell your kind, beautiful, wise witch taught you. You each know one spell, and that's the only magic you know. It's a mysterious hedge magic that she was able to teach you, but it's only one per familiar. So with that, we roll a d10 and see what furry little critter you are. Who wants to roll first?
I can.
Right.
Lena, roll your d10.
I rolled a 4.
A 4.
I'm a spider.
A spider. Oh,
Okay.
Horrible for you.
Yeah, I can do it. It's fine. It will be a good
I was
bonding
like, wait.
experience between me and spiders. Should I roll my spell now also?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know the spell Conjure Dinner, which is kind of
Fitting.
fucking cool.
That is
So
pretty
that
nice.
works.
Conjure dinner? Wow.
Dinner.
I mean, because spiders get hungry, right? I mean, they need to have things to eat. And I would hope that, you know, you can feed everybody else. I don't know if they'll eat what you eat.
Hey, you eat what you have, okay? If it's bugs, deal with it.
Wow.
All right. Who wants to roll next?
I can.
Chelsea.
Oh.
As I say somebody.
Okay, sure, why not?
Oh,
Okay,
I rolled
Oh,
a 10.
we go away.
hey, nice.
I've got the little rat hands now.
You are
A
the
rat?
I am
Did you
the
steal
rat.
my rat hands?
And I know the spell Plant Growth.
Nice. Alright, let's see. I'm a cat! Yay.
Fuck yeah, perfect.
Yes. And then let's see for spell. I can tidy, clean, and mend.
Nice. I'm definitely taking notes on what everybody else can do, because, you know. Okay, me. Hey, look, I rolled the lowest number possible, surprising nobody. I'm a fox. And
Hi. Make it stop. I don't understand why Slobs now hates the start of our streams. I'll continue to, you know, try to figure out what's going on. Oh yeah, last time I opened the status page and it never dropped again.
That shouldn't
Cool.
affect anything, but
No,
okay.
it sure shouldn't, but I'm fucking operating on, you know, superstitious rituals at this point because there's no goddamn reports telling me why it's doing this anyway. Anywho, Rachel is a fox because she rolled the lowest number possible, followed by Max.
it's true, so, you know.
Do you want to see what your spell is?
Yeah, what was
Rachel?
your spell,
Min-max
Rachel?
everything. Yeah, my spell is that I can make books read themselves aloud.
And then we were talking about how that's actually pretty OP because Chris said we can understand humans, but we can't read human language.
Mhm.
But also, as like a rules thing for people who haven't played this, which is all of us, but I meant for chat, anytime you use a spell, it increases your danger. So if we're using our spells a lot, it's going to make it more likely that we end up dead or something.
Or something horrible. There are fates worse than death, right?
There's a lot of fates worse than death.
No, everything's fine.
Oh, it's all fine. It's all fine. Okay, so we are back. You can all hear me. Our characters have rolled to see what they are, what their spells are, and now I shall set the scene. And as I set the scene, I'm going to give the players a little bit of time to pick a name and to figure out the appearance of their animal. And then we will get into all of that. So, we begin. 4 of you exit the north side of the forest. You are returning from a foraging excursion for your witch. Each of you were tasked with locating and returning with an item that was needed for an important potion that you know is for protection. Rachel, your character was to locate dingleberries, a rare delicacy that only grows in the north on the Uranus tree. Chelsea, you were tasked with finding dillyweed. This grows in the ponds in the northern woods. Lena, you had the special task of finding 2 albino newt eggs. The cave in the north has plenty of them. Trust me, no newt mom is going to miss 2. And Galway, your character was tasked with finding celery, but the special kind that only grows in the north. As you can all see, you were all in the north. As you exit the forest, proudly carrying your charges, you see the other familiars gathered around in a circle outside of the cottage. But something seems off. As you close the distance, you see legs sticking out of the familiar circle. Human leg. And each of you break into a run. Just then, Billy, the toad, sees you, steps away from the circle, and with tears in his red, bulbous eyes, she's dead. The great witch is dead. And with this, the rest of the familiars turn and look at each of you. Now, introduce your characters.
Yes, maybe the first thing they'll see is in the very back of the group. They've sort of heavy set, like dark gray rat. But because, I had time to think of a name and I just went with Measles, the kitchen rat. Sort of look at this like, she's dead. Reach up, take a stick of celery off of his back. Crunch, crunch, crunch. So this is fair game then, right?
My character is Viola, or is it Viola? Whatever. It's one of those. Bird eater. And she is a giant fucking tarantula. A Goliath bird eater tarantula. So she looks shocked as tarantulas can look. I don't know how you read a tarantula's facial expressions, but she looks like a very shocked tarantula. She just stops still and she's dropped her newt eggs and she's just staring.
My character is a fox, and I've decided that her name is Francine, and she is like a bright red in her foxy color, and is just very, very, very melodramatic. And so it's just going to be like, oh no, why, what a world, and just screaming all those things as as we walk up there.
And last but not least, my cat is named Luna Ivy, and she is a about normal size, long-haired black cat with bright amber eyes, and she is very stoic, but you can tell that the face has slightly sunk in, and she is feeling it internally, but she's not going to show it out in the front. She's just going to feel it on the end.
All right. As you all come up to this circle of friends, and you see the sorrow and the hurt and the anger that is just pouring out on their faces and their whiskers, the oldest familiar that the witch had is a fellow spider, but it is a large huntsman spider. He walks forward with her big legs. She looks at you, blinks all 8 eyes, and then looks at each individual item that you have, except she stops on Measles and sees the celery hanging from his mouth. Succeeded. Sort of. Good. Good. We may get our revenge after all. Smiles with his toothy, spidery grin. I don't know if spiders really can smile, but this one does. And it's huge and it's menacing, but it's also encouraging to you four. Come, come, we make preparations. So you all turn and you follow this giant spider as she walks towards the cottage. And as you get a few steps closer, you each take a moment and you look down at the body of your fallen, beautifully wise witch. And then you continue to the cottage. Now before you, you see this cottage that's not quite what Hansel and Gretel experienced, but not quite what Glinda lived in either. It's quaint and homey, but it still gives off the if you don't belong here, don't come in kind of vibe. But it was your safe place. It is your safe place, where each of you were made a familiar by your beautiful witch, a place you all called home. You walk in and you look around and you see that chairs are toppled over, there are potion vials just knocked around, and the giant huntsman spider, whose name is Sage, looks at you and says, "The witch knew something was going to happen. She knew that slimy witch hunter was coming for her. She just thought there was more time." He walks closer to the fire where there is a cauldron. The fire is still burning. You can see that other things are in disarray, but the fire still burns under this cauldron that you can see steam coming up from the top. So you know that there is still a potion cooking in this. As you know, magic fire never goes out, and it never needs tending. Sage looks at you and says, "See, these items were for the potion to kill him. May I have them now, please?"
Yeah, like I think maybe the newt eggs are just like a tiny bit like cracked because I dropped them a bit, but they're probably still okay. So like here, I think they're probably good, right? You're probably going to crack them anyways, I bet, right?
No. We normally, I mean, I lick them first, but normally they go in whole. But we shall see if it shall work. It should be fine. It'll be fine.
I pre-licked the celery for you. Chewed.
Pre-chewed it too. She'll take the celery and set it off to the side. She takes the newt eggs. And you two, where are your treasure?
Tree, and I got the biggest dingleberries right here. Do you want my dingleberries?
I so desperately want your dingleberries.
Hold on, let me just find them. And I just kind of like stick my pot. Like I only have one bag, but I just like pat myself down a whole bunch as if to find things and just, oh, right. Yeah, they're right here.
Take those. And for you, Luna, where's your dillyweed?
I don't know whoever thought it was a smart idea to send a cat into water, but whoever that was needs to make some new life decisions. But here you go. And then she'll just drop them down at your feet.
Well, look at you. Look at the dillyweed. And then look over at the wall. And as you see Sage turn and look at the wall, and there's this like questioning look on her face, and she looks. There's a job board on the wall, and each of you were tasked with picking which job you wanted, and you clearly see that Luna Ivy had put her token on the retrieve the dillyweed spot.
It's not my fault. Reading is not my strongest suit. I just saw that we were doing a bit of an adventure. There was no water on the board. So next time, if you want to put water, I am a cat. I cannot read, but I'm going to try. And I can't see very well, okay?
Just made it read itself out loud to you. It's not a big deal.
Okay, but like,
know that.
It's pictures. We don't have time to figure out the polar work structure, okay? And so she gathers these items, the dingleberries, the dillyweed, and the eggs. She pre-licks the eggs and drops everything into the cauldron. And with one of her legs, she's able to kind of take the spoon that's still in there and stirs the cauldron. There. Now we must wait half a day. Then we seek our revenge. Now, as you guys know, you were out foraging for 2 days. So keep that in mind here just a quick moment as we break everything down in a bit. So the potion is cooking. Sage is still kind of wondering why you guys were picked for this foraging excursion, since there was broken newt eggs, almost lost dingleberries that are kind of covered in fox fur, pre-chewed celery, and a very angry cat who had to get dillyweed. So she is busy kind of messing with the potion and dealing with all of that stuff. What would you guys like to do while you wait? You have half a day before the potion is ready. You look around and you see that the inside of the cottage is a mess. Like, you can tell that bastard of a witch hunter stormed his way in there and drug your beautiful witch out. So you look around and you see that it's all beat up and broken and just messed up. But waiting for you outside are the rest of the familiars. There are 6. Let me verify. I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 animals outside that have some to little info to help you know what happened. Just need to decide how you want to handle.
We should totally go talk to them and if that sounds good to you all, and kind of get the DL on what's been going on. I don't remember if that's a correct idiom in this case, but I'm saying it anyways. And maybe we can find out who the witch hunter was, so that we can be really fast when it's time to get revenge.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go see her and see what she looks like, since she was so beautiful in life. I'm sure she's even more beautiful in death.
Wow, that is super morbid. I am here for it, 100%. Let's go stare at that witch.
Luna's gonna offer, for instance, her tail, just kind of to dry her fox tears.
Seeing
It's
this,
okay.
seeing this, Measles will put his rat tail up.
She'll use it to kind of pick her nose. just the tip of it. Thanks. Sometimes you know how you get kind of snotty when you cry too. I was feeling that, so I needed some help, Measles.
Sort of pats you on the shoulders with his tail, wiping it gently.
Take a paw and just kind of
Delightful.
pat.
Everybody's really touching me a lot right now.
It looked like she fell near the garden, so maybe we can go see if the bell peppers have come in.
So I guess we'll all go up to the dead witch?
Yes.
I'm going to the bell peppers, but yeah. Dead witch adjacent.
He's just going to make it look like he's going to look at the witch. The garden just happens to be right there. Okay, as you guys walk back out of the cottage, you see standing almost like they're waiting for you, 6 familiars who are all in different stages of grief. You see Billy the Toad, who you've already spoken with, Naz the hare, Brian the dog, Pike the crow, Noel the magpie, and George the owl. And they are kind of scattered around. They're each focused at the door where you guys had gone in, but they're kind of scattered around. Only 1 or 2 of them are actually over still near the body of your beautiful witch.
Like to go to look at the witch's body and see how she was killed.
Okay. Well, so you guys walk over. She is laying there prone, but almost like Sleeping Beauty, only her arms are stretched out next to her body, her palms are face up. But she's just laying there. She looks peaceful, which seems odd to you since you know that she was savagely murdered by the horrible, horrible, horrible witch hunter. But can't exactly see how she was. Not at first glance. So I'm trying to see, I guess you don't really have to roll for anything to actually look at her. But you do feel like you have to get a little closer to her to actually see how she died.
Yeah, I'd like to get real close and snuff around and poke with paws and things like that if I can.
Okay. You're sniffing as well?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Okay. So as you get over to her, you start kind of sniffing near her feet, and you smell the earth that you know is in the cottage. It's a dirt floor, so you know that smell. It's a warm, comforting smell. But then as you kind of go up the leg, her torso, and you get closer to her actual arms, smell something that makes you kind of wince. It's not a bitter smell, but it's a smell that is musty and just vile. Think smelled something like this before. You would have smelled it anytime you have kind of been bouncing around the forest and you've come near maybe a pile of leaves that have been there for quite some time. It kind of reminds you of maybe like the mildewy smell. And then as you work your way up her arm, it gets stronger and just much stronger. It's a little overpowering for your nose. But you see around her neck, right, that she's got what looks like a rope burn around her neck. And you know what a rope looks like because you've helped the witch around the cottage, kind of pull things, work in the garden, maybe carry a few of the produce back in. So you have a pretty good idea of what a rope looks like, but you can see the markings of it on her throat. So you're able to determine she was strangled. Which you don't believe would have been an easy task because you know that your witch is strong and powerful. So somebody had to have been much, much bigger.
She was strangled and she smells like weird mold. Like she smells like old leaves. I don't know why, but it seems worrisome, and she used to smell so good, like iron cauldrons and fresh dirt, and now she just smells like leaves, and she's got all these weird row marks that some big person did to her. And I'm also going to, if I can, I'd like to take, if she has shirt sleeves or dress sleeves or whatever, and put them in my mouth and try to drag her arms across her body so that she's laying like this.
Okay, yes, she is still dressed in it's a brown, very flowy but very comfortable dress that that she really enjoyed because it was one that she was able to just feel free and confident in. It does come down to her wrists, but try as you might, her arms aren't budging. They don't seem to want to move.
Do you need like some help? I maybe a little bit stronger than you. I don't know. I'm a big fucking spider. I could try to help you move them.
You could try, but I don't know if it's my strength. I think that maybe it's some kind of witchy magic that's maybe keeping her still in this position.
Oh, she preserved herself? That would be amazing. She was so amazing. Oh my god. I can't believe she's gone.
We'll just start crying together.
I'll just stick my tail out for whoever wants to use it.
Measles has eaten his way inside a green bell pepper, is now sitting there with his arms and legs sticking out of it, just sort of eating his way down.
Nice.
As the two of you are near the witch and you're kind of bent over her because you were trying to move those arms and you're just distraught and you're crying, you feel movement underneath your paws and your legs, and you but it's around the witch's body. And as you look down, you see vines come up out of the ground and they start sprouting kind of like ivy, and they start going over her body and crisscrossing. So not totally encapsulating her, but giving her a nice blanket from head.
Measles, are you doing this? Are you doing this with your plant growth?
Would your respect for me increase with a yes or a no?
That's possible. So, never mind.
I'm just sort of sitting there working my way through the green bell pepper still.
Okay. So you guys, we have two of you are crying over the dead witch. One of you is graciously offering their tail, and the other one is desperately trying to find the bottom of this bell pepper.
I was going to ask, are there any other familiars in the garden area? Maybe either doing their chores or just sitting?
they're all just kind of sitting there. They've kind of once, I have to remember y'all names, Viola and Francine. Frenchie would have been cool. Francine walk over, and they're over there crying. The others that were kind of near the witch's body step aside and are giving them their time. So they're all just kind of mulling in between the witch's body and the garden. So Galway, if you are in the garden, you have this kind of like sparsed out little body of familiars that are just kind of like standing there, kind of waiting to find out what's going to happen next.
So I'd probably like waddle along in my little, like, at this point, bell pepper armor, and try to get to whichever one was closest to sort of the garden side.
Okay.
And talk to them.
All right. You are going to see, closest to you are Billy the Toad, who is the one who spoke to you guys when he saw you come out of the forest, and Naz the Hare.
So I'll sort of walk up. So, did you guys see what happened?
I promised myself I wouldn't ruin it.
Take your time.
And then you're going to see next to this toad is this hare. Her ears are like just straight up. And I was in the woods. I was in the woods when the witch died. I was in the woods. I don't know what was I doing in the woods? I was in the woods and I don't know. I was in the woods. It's all I know. It's all I remember. I was in the woods.
The hair is sus.
Tear off a chunk of the bell pepper that I'm wearing and sort of wave it at the hare. Take this. Take a bite. Calm down. What else besides woods?
I think Brian. I think Brian, where you at, Brian? I think Brian, because I was in the woods. But Brian wasn't in the woods. And then that's all you're gonna get out of Naz from now on is I was in. And you'll see this dog. This dog is it's a basset hound. So you see these droopy ears, and he's just kind of like pacing like this. But when he hears Naz say his name, he kind of perks up just a little. Then there's a tree that is just outside of the cottage. So if you guys went in the door and you came out the door and say the body's over here to your left and then the garden's here, the tree is just to the right. But you guys can see that there are two birds in the tree, but there's also a third bird, but you don't quite see that one. And you're fairly certain that one's George the Owl, because he likes to kind of hide. So you've got Brian, the basset hound, who perks up when he hears his name. Did someone say my name?
Your name in the forest about 17 times in a row.
Yeah.
But you weren't in the forest, correct?
No. Naz was in the forest.
Were you here?
I was in the cottage when he arrived.
And?
It is really hard for me to keep a straight face. Sorry. And I was in the cottage I was sleeping. You know how she liked to have that warm, snuggly little bed for me, 'cause I can't jump up on her bed. So she made this nice soft one that she kept at the foot of her bed. You know that one?
Yes, I stashed leftovers in it.
That was you?
Yes.
I don't think they're there anymore. But I was in that bed when the hunter arrived. And, well, I'm rather ashamed of it, but when the hunter kicked in the door, I peed. And then I ran under the bed. Not the one I peed in, but the one she sleeps in that I can't jump up in. And he's just going to sit there. He's very stoic.
I feel like Brian the Basset Hound is a really good representation of like if Nero actually got speak with animals, like how all animals would speak back to Nero. Measles will just sort of nod like, so do any of you have better luck getting information out of him than I? This is going. So far, I've gotten Shy Bladder ate my leftovers, hid in a bed. Not that bed, the other bed. Not that bed, not that bed. In the bed. Other. Oh God, I started him again.
I would say that any leftovers you stowed probably taste like pee. But
a lot of them started that way. It's fine.
Brian, did you see anything when he came in, or I know you were scared, and that's fine. It's okay to be scared. Do you know if anybody else saw anything? Maybe.
So in the cottage, laying on the bed.
And yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and there was this loud bang.
Is that when you peed?
Yeah. And then I ran.
Under the other bed, not the one you peed in. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. And I hid. And all I saw were the boots of that man. And then there was yelling and cursing. And he dragged her out of the cottage. Because I was in the cottage. He dragged her out.
Were you on the bed or under the bed at this time? I can't remember.
Why would you do this?
I was under the bed. Not the bed I peed in. But the bed that the lady witch slept in. That I couldn't jump in. Brian, that's me.
While you were under the bed in the cottage, did you see what he looked like?
Saw his boots.
And they were what
nice
color?
Boots.
What did they look, Brian?
Because they kicked in the door.
Brian? What did the boots look like, Brian?
Oh, they were nice. Corinthian leather.
Nice?
I think it was probably, what do they call those boots that pirates wear swashbuckler boots. I think they was those kind of boots. But they were
He was a
not.
pirate?
No, he was mean and he cursed and he dragged our beautiful witch at the cottage.
I hesitate to jump in here because you seem to really firm on certain parts of the story and maybe not so firm on others. But did you hear anything he said to her? Did you hear what he was saying to her? You said there was yelling and cursing, and maybe that could help some with when we avenge her, because we need to avenge her, right? We loved her so much and she was so wonderful and beautiful. What did you hear him saying to her?
Yeah, can you curse for us, Brian?
Curse. You know that. It's not right. I hold on. I will try. He kicked in the door. I peed. I ran under the bed that I don't sleep in. And I saw these really nice swashbuckler boots. And I heard fudgesicle, butthead, roo. And then he drug her out the door.
Did she have a fudgesicle?
I don't know.
Maybe he was just sickles.
That's possible. But after he drug her out the cottage.
You were
What?
You were in the
But
cottage.
I was in the cottage.
Mm-hmm.
Under the bed. Not the one that you peed in. When he kicked in the door, cursed at her. I think she cursed him back. And
so do you think this was like a witchy curse, or was this just like a... No, it was just like a...
This was like when Pike gets really angry.
Mm-hmm.
And then he drug her out the door.
Pike?
No, the man with the boots.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
When he drug her out the door, I heard Pike and Noel, and they was making the loudest commotions. Maybe they know more. I hear you, Rachel. I can't hear you. No.
Oh, wait. This is lip reading. Hold on.
Oh God, we did institute the familiars can't talk to each other.
Yes. Got that one.
Uh-huh.
I can hear myself. Now
we can
works.
hear
I can
you.
hear you. Yes.
I literally did nothing but opened up Discord and said, let's check the microphone. And it was like, yeah, no, here you go. And it was like...
I mean, you're saying this to me, who's paranoidly looking at my Twitch page, like every 5 seconds, just being like, "You still there, right, buddy?
I know.
Still there, right, buddy?"
I will probably not pay much attention to the Twitch chat because I can't.
I never do when I DM. When I DM,
On the other
it's
hand,
just like...
On the other hand, I do feel that Matt's comment of "Jesus Christ, is there a security camera?" is worth sharing.
Brian is the security camera. Damn it!
Well, we know where he was and where he peed and where he wasn't.
And there's no leftovers left in the bed.
He didn't say
If there
that.
are, they taste like pee. Clearly, that's not a problem.
He didn't say that.
So
Different.
we should go talk to Pike. Because Pike was outside. Of the
Talking
cottage.
to Brian, or are you talking to the rest of your party who are probably done hearing Brian speak?
I'm halfway through a
Rachel
second bell
really
pepper.
wants to talk to Brian, but also Rachel has been really pushing for this to be very annoying, so I should probably just move on. Yeah, let's go. Maybe we could go talk to Pike about why she died and what he saw. I just saw Galway drink, and I just imagine Measles doing that too. Like,
I've got like a little thimble. He's got like a little thimble of water.
Thimble. Okay, so you guys leave Brian and you head over to the tree where you see two birds clearly. And then the third one is obscured. The two you can see, are Pike the crow and Noel the magpie. And then George is the owl that is slightly obscured by the leaves.
Oh, sorry, Chelsea.
I was going to say, my first instinct would be to go and talk to George. Because, owls see all. For me, like the rest of the group, if you guys want to go talk to Pike and Noel, but I know Luna would head to probably go talk to George.
Can I just say really quickly a stupid thing that you know the Sublime song, I smoke 2 joints in the morning, I smoke 2 joints at night. I remember when I was a kid, on the radio, somebody called in and thought that what they were saying was I spoke to George. And so I always sing that song with, I spoke to George in the morning, I spoke to George at night. So when she said I spoke to George, I just started singing that in my head. So I spoke to George before I spoke to George, and then I spoke to George. Anyway, continue. That's all. It was useless.
Beautiful.
I love it. It's perfect.
Futility.
We're an hour in and we're still at the cottage, so this is fantastic.
We take a long time to do anything.
If you do not provide us with overriding, think about tier. Think about the lengths I have to go to when I'm like, okay, no, seriously. Walk down that path.
So who is talking to who?
I would talk to Pike.
George.
We'll talk to Pike as well.
I guess I'll get Noel.
Are you guys serious? You're gonna make me do 3 at once?
How about the 3 of us take Pike and Noel, and then Luna has George. Luna, right?
Yeah.
That does kind of work out because Pike and Noel are clearly you can see them. They're pretty much on the same branch. George is the one who is lower and kind of on the other side of the trunk, obscured by the leaves. So, all right. We will start with Pike and Noel. So we have Viola, Measles, and Francine. You guys walk over to the tree. And as you look up, you see this rather timid-looking magpie. She's really pretty. She's got kind of these blue-black iridescent feathers. And then on the branch just above her, you see this crow, and he's a massive crow, but he's also got this, I don't know, he's kind of hulking over, and he's just he oozes attitude that you just kind of dreading this conversation.
More so than the one with.
We'll find out. So as you get closer and you see these two, you hear and this magpie is she's got her feathers in front of her face, and then just above her you see this, hey, quiet the fuck down there. Jesus Christ, come on. You're making so much noise. We're all upset. What do yous want?
Well, you don't get to tell people how they can grieve, okay, Pike? If no one wants to cry, then let them cry.
Are you serious right now? Her nest is right below mine. It's the noisiest situation I've ever been a part of. Are you serious?
Just build a new nest, right? I think you just like to complain.
Build a nest?
Yeah.
Yes. It's just so easy.
It is. You just put
Yes.
some sticks together. That's all birds live in anyway. Is just a bunch of sticks.
You're
Yeah,
a fact.
like, okay,
No.
okay. Hey. This is like totally not what we're here for. So let's stop shouting at each other about nests and sticks. Like maybe, like, you know, we should all like have a common goal, right? Like we're trying to, like, you know, avenge the witch and hopefully make things less terrible because she was so wonderful. So maybe like we should just like all chill the fuck out and stop shouting at each other.
When Viola starts speaking,
Is it not working? Oh, it's working. Okay.
You
It
will
wasn't
see-
lighting up again. Sorry.
Oh,
Fine.
you will
That's why I
see
was scared.
Pike slightly step back, just a little. There is a bit of intimidation. He's not quite ready to fully be submissive to this giant tarantula bird eater, but he's also not fully ready to be eaten. Hey, I'm just saying, it's loud. I'm trying to rest. I'm exhausted. I'm sad. I'm heartbroken too. I have feelings too, you know. And then with that, you're just going to hear no.
So your voice doesn't pick up.
It didn't pick up.
Your mic doesn't like your null voice.
It doesn't?
No.
It's particularly, I think, when you lean down too far,
okay.
it's
All right, so now
deflecting
we'll
too
lean
far
higher.
off the mic.
Don't know feelings. And that's what you've got.
Like we're all like doing it in different ways, like Francine said. So like let's just like all like shut the fuck up. So Pike, we like got intel from Brian the dog. It was a lot of work. That you might have seen something. Can you like, you know, like tell us what you saw? We're trying to like figure out who the witch hunter is.
Yeah. Oh, the slimy bastard. He walked. First off, he walked. He didn't like ride a horse. Like, what kind of valiant asshole doesn't ride a horse, right? He's supposed to be the hero of the village.
Be a pirate.
Oh,
Because he might be a pirate.
a pirate?
Yeah, he look like a pirate.
Told you he was a pirate.
Brian.
Brian? Yeah, of course he told you he was a pirate. Did you see the bed he sleeps on?
I
It's
smell
covered
the
in
bed he
piss.
sleeps on. Whew.
Look, it's not the first time he's peed in that bed, you know. And then, measles, you do understand everything you've been eating from there is covered in piss, right?
Why did you think I said it wouldn't bother me that much?
You're disgusting. You're vile. You're
Thank
like the
you.
pigeons, man. Ugh.
Yes, they call them rats with wings for reasons.
Ugh. So the guy, right? He comes walking down the walking path. Now that I think about it, I guess it's a walking path. But you know. Anyways, he comes walking down the walking path and he comes right up to the cottage like the guy owns the place. Bitch doesn't own the place. He doesn't own the place. He kicks open the door and there's some kerfuffle. It's a kerfuffle going on in there. And then he drags a beautiful lady, drags out of the cottage. And he
Oh, a
jumps
Catholic?
Look, I just like to cover my bases, okay? I'm sure I've got like
Pulls out
what do you-
the
I mean, I
Star
got
of David and like
I got them all, man. It's like it's all here. I just, you know, I cover my bases. Anyways, I maybe saw his face. He was ugly. He was ugly, I'll tell you that. He did have some nice boots. And I mean, he looked like, you know, like a human.
Okay, can you maybe be a little more detailed on that? Like, did he have a beard? What color was his hair? Was he old or young? You know how those things go. Like our witch lady, like our wonderful witch, was beautiful and gorgeous and had beautiful auburn hair. And I'm just making up how she looks. And she was like,
You're exactly right. That's exactly remember too as I look at her body over there. She had beautiful auburn hair and she's just gorgeous and oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful.
So, like, what color was his hair?
So, you're probably not gonna like this, and I mean no disrespect to you, big bird-eating lady, but I only kind of saw what I saw. She saw it all, but I don't know that you're gonna get much out of it.
Maybe if he's like a little less intimidating, she'd take talking to Noel. Because I don't want to like scare her, but maybe we could like, hopefully get some intel out of her.
I mean, I could try. I'm pretty nice. Sometimes.
Noel removes the feathers from her face, mainly because my microphone doesn't like it when I cover my face. I saw.
Thing you're saying. It doesn't like your high-pitched voice.
Okay, all right. Can anyone hear my high-pitched voice at all? So you at least have an idea. No one heard it at all? No one heard any of that? Okay, so we're gonna give Noel a normal voice. We're just gonna give her a normal voice.
Uh-huh.
So she's very distraught. She has very high-pitched voice, which I would really love to convey to you, but it's probably a good thing that I don't, because I just went from a very low voice to a very high voice, and that might be the issue. So she is just bawling, and she says, I saw it all. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it all. And he's a bad man, Francine. He's a bad man. Did you not hear that either?
No, we did.
We got that. We got that one.
I was laughing at he's a bad man, Francine. My thing isn't always lighting up green, so if you also suddenly can't hear me, just let me know, because it's not...
it's having a hard time picking up both of you all tonight for some reason.
I don't know why. I can be like, hello, I'm right here in the microphone. I don't know. Everything hates me. Did you see what the bad man looked like? Did he have a beard? Did he have a big long mustache? Did he have black hair, or was it blue, or were his eyes sparkling?
Yes.
Did he have rosy cheeks?
Yes, I saw it all. I saw all of it.
And you'll tell it to me now.
I will. Yes. I keep wanting to do the voice.
I know.
Yes, I will tell it to you now. He looked like a man.
Yep.
He had one of those things they wear on their heads sometimes.
A hat?
Yes, he had a hat. And he had feathers on his face. No, not feathers.
Was he a bird person?
No. Our people would not do this. Our people would not do this.
Okay. No one was suggesting it. Was it fur?
No. Hair is what humans have, right? Hair. It was hair on his face. And he was big. He was big, Measles. He would squish you with his boot. Very nice boot.
They swashbucklers?
Is that pirates wear?
Yeah.
Yes, but he was not a pirate. I
Okay.
don't think he was a pirate.
Did he have an eye patch? Did he have a
No.
hook for a hand?
No.
Oh, he probably
Have
wasn't
you
a pirate.
seen do humans have?
I mean, I don't know. I've just had stories read out loud to me about pirates.
Very interesting. I would like to hear those stories sometime.
When we save the witch, I'll do a spell for you. But So the hair fur feathers, could you tell me maybe a little bit more about their coloring? Oh no,
Which
Chris, you're
it was
I'm
dark.
sorry.
It was darker than the witch's hair. Does that
Okay.
help?
So it could have been, was it like purple?
No. Wait, what's purple?
The-
Like
the eggplant.
flowers.
The eggplant.
Oh,
over there.
eggplant. Yeah, like an aubergine.
Oh no. It was darker than the witch's. So and she'll take a feather and she'll kind of point down at Viola. Kind of dark like her bendy area.
All right. That's a weird way to put that, but sure.
And he had a coat.
Was it a pirate coat?
It was a coat that, if he were not brutally murdering our witch, I would have stolen.
Oh.
It was shiny.
Shiny?
It was shiny. Like the coin. Like the coin that I brought you that one day. So what she's
Oh.
referring to would kind of be like a silvery, kind of like blackish silvery kind of look.
Okay. So he was like a Elton John or a
No,
a Liberace.
No, but it was a coat that you think probably requires a certain title to have. If that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah. So he wasn't just a nobody.
Correct. And he had hair on his face, and he wore a hat on his head. He had nice boots and a shiny coat.
Did you ask what his name is?
Did not think of that.
Oh, dang it. Well, you've been really helpful, Noel. I know it's really sad and it is probably really hard to see, but we're gonna kill this guy somehow. I don't know. I'm a fox that can make books talk, but we'll figure it out.
I'm a really big scary tarantula. I'm pretty sure I'm poisonous. I can definitely kill him. If I would bite him right in his neck or something, he'll totally die.
I have no doubt that you guys will stop my flood of tears. And then she just goes back to crying. And Pike just kind of mumbles and climbs into his nest. Okay, so Luna, you went over to speak to George the Owl, correct?
Yes. So Luna is she's going to act as if she's not coming towards him. She's going to do what cats do when they're interested in something, but they just kind of pretend like they're not. So they'll come towards you, but then she'll start licking herself to kind of so to not intimidate him or to be too much into his space, but to obviously look like she has intention.
Gotcha. So George is he's just kind of resting. So his head is down, but his eye opens. And you know how those owl eyes kind of look around, and he's looking around. Do you want information, or do you want a bath?
I mean, information would be nice, but I'll wait while you tell me.
Slightly unsettling.
My first question: did this intruder of ours smell salty and taste of regret?
Actually, I did try to bite him.
You did.
Yes.
How successful was that?
Well, I'm sure you've heard from Pike and Noel and Brian all about his appearance, but I was there. I saw it all unfold, and no one was coming to the rescue of our fair mistress. So I took it upon myself to fly into action. And I flew. I flew with the speed of an owl out for vengeance. And I flew and I swooped at his stupid hatted head. And I actually almost scratched him. But then I swooped back again and I bit at him. But the vile man threw his arm up like he was a falconer. Is that a word? Falconer? I don't know. Like he wanted me to land on his arm. So land I did. And I bit even more. Then I got his cheek. But then he shook me off. And he hurt my wing, so I retreated to the tree. But the bastard that you look for has my beak mark on his cheek.
Well, I have to give you a valiant effort. I feel like of everyone, you're the only one who made any difference whatsoever to this matter.
What I've been saying all day.
Two questions from what you've just said. He sounds pretty strong, yes?
He was a valiant foe. Bested me in battle.
No doubt of it. Or else you would have beaten him if he was any less.
Obviously, if he would have been a field mouse, I would have broken his back and swallowed him whole.
And the other question, using your great owl sight, did you see which way he headed?
Obviously, to reap his reward and spout about his killing. Coward of a man. He should have stayed and fought. I deserved a round two. Who?
That one was a slow burn for me. It took a minute for it to sink in there. Also, I switched to push to talk per Sam in the hopes that it will help with my cutting and stuff. So I don't know. It might be a thing that helps you too, and that it just, if you have it on, it picks up everything as opposed to voice activity, which only picks up if it feels like it. So I'm gonna try it out.
We won't have to hear from Noel again. So
yeah, fair.
Well, George, I don't want to take up any more of your beauty sleep. So thank you for your information. And I won't tell anyone about your little blunder. I will tell them that you were successful.
Well, I appreciate that. You may bathe in my presence anytime. And then he goes back to sleep.
Totally normal thing to tell somebody.
Not at all creepy.
You can bathe in front of me now if you'd like. I guess that's fine.
No, it's fine.
Totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have all gathered some information, hopefully some useful information on this witch hunter that you must seek vengeance on. After you have spoken to everybody and you've painfully gotten the information that you've needed, you head back into the cottage to check on Sage. And she tells you, not quite ready yet. We still need a little more time. But we should probably discuss time. For as you know, only a week we have to bring our beloved witch back to life with the eyes of that vile human. So, while you were gone on your excursion for 2 days, it was on that second day he killed her. So she had been dead 1 day. And then you came. No, I was wrong. I looked at my notes. She had been.
Sage just pulls out a notebook. Wait a second, let me pull out my notebook.
Sage is wise and always writes everything down.
It's made out of a web. It's like,
Yes.
it's fun.
Let's see. Ah, yes. She was dead 2 days. It takes half a day to make the potion. 1 day to travel to the village. 1 day to travel back from the village. That leaves you with, carry the 3.5 days to seek your revenge rampage. And there you have that.
Beautiful.
So we can speed ahead to the half day, which you guys, when you return from the forest, it was probably near sunset. So the half a day would have taken you to probably sunrise, dusk the next morning. So if you wanted to rest, you are woodland creatures. You are intelligent for the most part, but you can only carry so many things. So I don't know if you wanted to try and grab a supply or two, or if you just want to go about it with your wits only.
Oh, what kind of supplies could we grab?
Well, in the cottage, the witch lived alone and she tended this beautiful garden, but she also, as you know, would make potions for customers. So there are a few empty vials. There are a couple of potions that you can't read the writing on them, but you do know her categorizing system. And so there are a couple of potions that do give a couple of points of health back to you. Like it would bring you back from the brink of death. Then there's the rope. There's some rope that she had that you guys had seen because you had used it before. Maybe a couple of little things of rations that you could carry with you should you get hungry at all. I think one of you can actually make food, so that's nice.
Yeah.
We'll say that conjure dinner also just means conjure food in general. That way you don't have to wait till dinner to eat. But that's kind of it that you feel like you guys could actually carry.
Okay, I feel like I would definitely take some potions if I could into my bag.
Okay. Let's see. So you're a normal size fox. These vials are generally meant for human consumption. So you could probably only fit 2 vials safely in your bag.
Okay, I'll stick 2 vials in there.
Okay. Anyone else?
I was going to say, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go.
I was going to say, I'd probably like to try to grab some sort of vial too and use the rope and try to make it into like a collar, like to, if we can, so that would have both rope and a vial, like kind of making it like a cat collar.
Okay, so being a cat and no opposable thumbs, you would require assistance, or you would need to roll really good to do so.
I bet I could help with my mandibles.
Yeah.
I have,
Or
dare I
even measles. to
Spider-
help
I,
with
di- I have,
spider.
dare I say it, little rat hands.
Got little rat hands.
Okay, so you take this piece of rope and a potion over to Measles, and you're carrying it in your mouth. You just drop it in front of him.
Measles, if I give you an extra piece of that little leftover that I left for myself. Do you think you'd mind using your tiny little rat hands? Because. Pause.
And do what with them?
Oh, and we're gonna make a collar so I can carry this potion.
Yes. Well, you said leftovers, so sure, let's try it.
All right.
I'm kind of wondering, what do you think? Do I need to make? I mean, like, there's not that I can tell. You know what? I know you have little rat hands, but not quite sure that you've like really tied a whole lot of knots. You've only done it maybe once or twice to help the witch. So I feel like you should probably roll a clever.
Okay. Four.
Oh, I don't really help out much on there. Okay, so you take this rope and you take this vial and you're kind of fumbling along and you're tying a bit, and then it just kind of falls apart, and then you try it again, and then it falls apart one more time, and then you just kind of look up at Luna, and Luna, you have this just look of like, why aren't you done yet? And Measles, you are able to very poorly tie a knot that you are 75% sure is going to stay on Luna's neck.
I wouldn't recommend running very quickly, jumping, proceeding through tight spaces, being in water, not much of an issue, climbing a lot, really anything that's going to jostle this entire setup, because it's probably a little bit precarious with the whole glass rope, little hands, yes, but rat hands. So, you know.
Measles, did you see what I am? You just pretty much said I can't do anything that is my natural ability to do.
That's why I issued the specific list of warnings, yes.
Fair enough. And then she'll go and get the ration and give it to you. You earned this. Thank you.
Right? Measles, Viola, do you wish to try and take anything?
I'd probably bring some food so that I don't have to use magic as much.
Okay. And how are you carrying the food? Please.
In my spider backpack. It's made of webs and it's adorable.
Okay, so you step off to the corner and the other three and Sage is looking at you. Sage knows what you're doing, but you step off into this corner and you kind of do this little kind of like butt shake, but like your whole body kind of shakes as you are spitting web out from your butt basically to make this little pouch. And then your hind legs kind of bring it up to the front, and then you're able to stuff a ration or two in it, and then you precariously position it kind of on your little thorax back there, and then you are all set with your butt web backpack.
Beautiful.
Measles?
So there were vials, but people have a lot of those. Luna has the rope that we have. Oh, that might be one thing, and I don't know how you would feel about this, but the witch has a garden. Like the witch doesn't just like forage from the forest, and I have the ability
Correct.
to like make plants grow. Do I know if there are any like useful seeds that I maybe could take? Like that would be distracting or
Distracting. Okay. So you know that
Sorry.
yeah, right. The witch was very clever when she gave you the spell plant growth. Because you're a rat and you like to kind of forage for food in places you probably shouldn't sometimes. So you do sometimes need to get your own self out of problems. So you know that she keeps a little vial. It's on the top shelf because normally she gives these to you rationed. She doesn't just let you run around with these because you are mischievous and you would probably just spread them everywhere. But you know that on the very top shelf, there is a vial that contains little black seeds in them that when they are planted in the ground, they grow out these massive ivy vines.
So, anyone want to help me get that?
And you point to the top shelf where that little vial is with seeds.
I have mandibles and can climb walls. I can totally help you. I'll just scramble up and grab it.
You're a spider. There's really no role for that. So you climb up the shelf, and it's the only vial on the shelf. And you know as well that that's where she kept like the most important things that she had to only be able to get. So you reach up there and you grab this vial and you come down with it. And you're able to use one mandible and pull off the cork. And there are probably 20 seeds in there. It's up to you how many you wish to give Measles.
Measles, you can take as many of these as you want. There's 20, and you can take all of them if you can carry them. It'll be amazing. I don't know what you want these for, but it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good, Measles.
So,
I am so excited for you to have these seeds. It's gonna be the best.
So what you said, it erupts into sort of these massive vines generally. And these are important, I assume, for some of her potion craft, etc.
Yeah, what they are is they are a certain type of ivy that she would use for a very potent healing potion. But when just planted in the ground and used with your spell, they would grow into these massive vines that once they've grown, you could use them to climb up a tree, to climb up a house, or to kind of make a blockade, maybe 5 foot wide. Nothing massive, but enough to kind of
choking off
block
an area.
Something so that you could get off. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll probably take 10 of them, leaving half of them behind.
Okay. All right, so you have your seeds, and you still kind of need to wait a little, but we'll go ahead and fast forward till the dusk. You guys took a little nap, kind of rested up for the challenge that's ahead of you. And then you wake up to Sage is over at the cauldron and is with her mandibles pulling out this spoon that is still in there, but because she helps the witch so often, there's kind of a hook on the spoon. So it really is kind of like a ladle. So she's able to slide a mandel up in there and pour into this vial. She pours it into the vial. She turns and she looks at the 4 of you. Viola. And she hands you this vial. You must get the hunter to swallow the potion, or find another way to kill him. But the most important thing is you must claw out his eyes and return them unharmed here. 3.5 days.
For the sake of fair argument and just, maximum clarity, would gnawed at the edges constitute harmed?
Spider eyes are not the same as human eyes, so she's not quite sure what you mean.
We're not gonna let Measles eat the eyeballs. I'll make sure
What?
that
No,
they're safe.
no. I just meant if in the process of extracting them, maybe we got them nicked.
Is that just what you meant? Okay.
The eyeballs
Yes.
must be whole, as in they must be round. Eyeballs are round. Round.
Yes.
Bring them back round.
Okay. I think we can manage that. Just
Wonderful.
to be clear, it's only the hunter's eyes that need to be round. The others are fair game, right?
Exactly.
Wait, are we killing other people?
I mean, you do you.
Needs must when a witch hunter kills your witch.
So now you have the potion. You're equipped with your rations, your items. You know that from the cottage, there is a walking path that goes from the cottage to the road. The road leads to the village. You can get to the village by taking the road, but you do know that the road is dangerous because you are animals, and the road is generally meant for carriages and horses and humans. You know that the safest way would be to walk parallel to the road and remain in the safety of the forest. But it's your choice.
I mean, I'm a rat. I don't really want to scrabble in the sun on the hard stone. I prefer the forest.
I really like the sunlight. Like, it's really nice because I can't stay warm very well. Like, it's really hard, but we can stay in the forest. It's okay. I just might have to like curl up on one of you and like steal some of your body heat. Is that okay? Can you like share that with me?
Hop on my back. It's okay. You'll blend right in. I'm black anyway.
Okay, awesome. That's so
Just
great.
don't poison me. If you poison me,
I
we're gonna have
will.
problems.
But sometimes when I get scared, I shoot my hairs out and they can make you really itchy and they kind of hurt a lot. So if I get startled, you might get some hairs, but I won't bite you, I promise.
You can't just ask a friend not to poison you. Like, that should just go without saying. I feel like that was, I don't know, maybe you should just be a little nicer in these hard times.
Offers tail again.
I was going to say, distinctly does not offer tail again. Measles remembers.
Also, I totally started to take on some Alina's voice at the end there. My brain was like, Valley Girl.
So, Forrest, let's do it. This is gonna be great, y'all. I am so excited to pop out a witch hunter's eyes and bring our witch back. Like, I'm like not even like sad anymore because we're gonna do great. We're gonna get her back and it's gonna be wonderful. I'll be like, she never even died. It's gonna be so good.
Plus, we might get to gnaw some eyes.
I'm not really like into that, but
How can you not be? They're just up there,
I have
round,
9 teeth. I have
glistening,
like fangs.
moist.
Can
I
you
don't-
just never say moist again? And I would be happy.
Moist.
I'm
Conrad.
uncomfortable.
But anyway, yeah, let's go, fuck up a village.
Okay, you guys head off into the forest parallel to the road. And as you are traveling, you hear enter the forest, you hear the other familiars, and they are like, yeah, cute. And you just hear all of them just kind of like, okay, bring back the boot. And you just hear all of this behind you, and you walk into the forest as proudly as you exited it the day before. So you head into the forest, and since you guys chose the forest, this one's going to go kind of quick. You make your way along. You stay parallel to the road. You try not to get too close because you do hear some horse like clomping. You hear some what sounds like from previous excursions to this village. You guys have gone before. You don't go often. And it's generally when you've gone before, you've only gone in, like 1 or 2 to just kind of scout out for the witch so that she knows kind of how things are going. So you have heard a wagon before, you've heard horses, you kind of know what to expect when you come to this village. So you make your way through. You have to stop a couple of times, kind of be quiet, make sure you're not seen, especially the giant spider who could still be seen, even though you're a ways off from the road. You guys make your way through. It does take a day. It's up to you. Do you want to kind of take a break before you make it to the village and kind of rest for a minute? Or do you want to head straight on into the village?
What time is it that we would get to the village if we headed straight on?
It takes about a day. You guys left at sunrise. So you would probably get there, I would say, I really want you to get there at sunrise the next morning. So that's kind of what it's going to take you.
Well, most of our descriptions of the witch hunter that we're looking for better or worse on the part of our fellow familiars, consist of things that are only useful in identifying him if he's awake and moving around. Not great with the hair colors and the rest of it. So either we sneak into every house in the village at night and attempt to, find a person with a peck mark on their cheek, or we wait until and maybe just try to observe from the edges of town and see if we see him, and probably will be easier to move for most of us at night. Rats are a common enough sight, as are cats, but foxes and huge-ass spiders might cause more of a commotion.
Like, I am, super sneaky. You don't even, know. I am so stealth. I am, hidden in plain sight. It is, beautiful.
Oh no,
I'm
who
not.
said that?
Do have a nice high sly trait, so.
I don't. I'm a fox, but I'm not really sly or quick.
I love the fact that you're a fox and you have a low sly. Sly fox is literally a phrase.
Or
thought
quick
that was
fox
odd.
for the quick brown fox jumps over
Yeah.
the lazy dog. But no, I'm clever and fierce.
So maybe just observe for a little bit, see if we find anyone matching the description during the day, and then we can track them a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds totally good.
You guys make your way through the forest and you get to the outskirts of the village. And that's where you guys are going to kind of just sit and kind of get your bearings and kind of check out the outskirts of the village. And if you guys like, here we can take a quick break.
Yeah, I think it seems
Sure.
like a good time. All right, everybody. We will be back in just a few minutes with more from another menagerie. Hang out, and we will be back in probably about 10 minutes. See you soon, everybody. Hello, everyone. Once at some point you'll see us, hopefully you can confirm that fact.
Hopefully.
And hopefully stream's actually still on.
I just still see the welcome stream. There we are.
There's a long delay. We are back. In the first half, we talked to lots of animals, some of whom talked very slowly, and were very specific about where they were, and where they weren't, and what they'd
And where
done.
they peed.
Yeah.
Were there any leftovers?
There were a couple, but they were covered in pee
Thanks, Brian.
under the bed.
And now we've made our way through the forest to the outskirts of town, where this isn't going to be, dangerous or anything. It's fine.
Not at all. Gonna be a quick walk in the park. Okay, you guys made it through the forest, and you are on the outskirts of the village. Now, let's learn a little bit about this village. The village of Big Bone is a small, rustic village, and it's built on a crossroad, which makes this beautiful opening right in the town square for a marketplace. In the center is this big, glorious fountain that shoots water that you guys see. And there's a statue. You can't quite make out what the statue is, but you know the statue is there and it's got water. And there are generally in the town square merchant tables, and they're spread out selling many different goods and services. In the village, there's a pub. There's a chapel, but you guys don't recall seeing a chapel the last time you were here, and it had been a little while since it was your turn to visit the village. So there's a newly built chapel. There's a tailor, a butcher, and a few more shops. And mixed in with all these shops are homes that the humans inhabit. Now, you know that it's only humans that live in this village because your beautiful wise witch has been recently complaining about the newly racist humans that have been dirtying up the forest and piling into the village. The population, not that you guys quite understand, but the population is roughly 200 humans. But when the market is booming, it's remarkably busy with travelers. When you actually get in and look around, in the crossroads, on the north end of the crossroad, there is a chapel. You can tell that it's still kind of in the building process, but it's up and it's basically functional. On the east side of the crossroad is a manor. You're fairly certain that's where the mayor lives. And then that only leaves the west and the south road open for travel. You guys are coming from the west. So you waited out on the outskirts of the village, and you waited for the sun to rise. And as the people in the village start to wake up, you start to hear noises. A lot of loud, boisterous noise. It has piqued your curiosity. That's not the only thing that has piqued. Your noses, at least the three of you, have all turned up to the sky, where you smell baked goods, cooking meat, and something sugary. What would you guys like to do?
So we should go eat that, right? Right.
We have a mission.
To eat the food, right?
Eyeballs first, food as a treat after we finish our mission.
All the eyeballs and sugar. Got it.
Not the...
We're not we're like totally not supposed to eat the eyeballs. Wow, my cat really, really hates my Valley Girl voice. He just and stare directly at my face. Like, what the fuck, Lena?
I just keep waiting for you to want to throw a fireball, is all I know.
Right. Measles as an alternative. They did say that we could attack anyone else, so other eyeballs and sugar.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. The more people that we attack, when we bring the witch back after, they're going to be mad and just probably send somebody else to kill her again. So I feel like if we do this, like, sneaky sly, the witch is a lot less likely to die again than if we just go in, like, eyeballing everybody.
What about if we find the hermit, the one that no one will miss if they're gone?
You know, probably shouldn't have eaten a bite of ice cream right before I was going to talk. Didn't learn from Wednesday. Just because we're a witch's familiars doesn't make us evil monsters. I'm just going to go kill a hermit. What's he done to us?
He might have been mean. There's no animals in this town. He might not be an animal lover.
I don't know if that's really a justification for homicide.
Totally.
He's not
Like,
the
I
same.
don't like kill people just because they like might not like us, right? Like that's like not okay.
I feel like me and the spider are on the one side of the morality spectrum, and the rat and the cat are maybe on the other end.
I'm just saying that if what we're looking for is stealthy, what is stealthier than blinding the entire village?
Okay, but like there's like, a
Delicious.
lot of people here, and like I'm really like I'm the only one who can like really fight, right? Like come on, you're a rat and a fox and a cat, like
Okay, foxes can be deadly. Thank you very much. I got these teeth.
yeah, to like voles.
What, tarantulas are deadly to people?
Yeah, well, some types are. Tarantulas. Some types of tarantulas like definitely are. Maybe not me, but some types.
All right. Anyway, there's a lot of to do. There's food smells, delicious food smells with eyes near them. It's fine. Somewhere in that mess is presumably the asshole who killed the witch, whose eyes we actually do need to extract and not eat until later. Do we want to get a little closer in an attempt to find him?
I think we should like do some like reconnaissance at the chapel, right? Because that's like brand new, and maybe the other familiars don't really know like what holy people look like. So they like describing a pirate, but it's like a church pirate. Those are things.
Yeah, everybody knows that pirates love church.
Are you going for conquistador?
Sure.
I mean, they do sail in the holy waters.
Jesus Christ. Ice cream fake out. It's like, nope. So, one thing I would say is, like, as we're looking around, again, I'm assuming from sort of our past experiences in the village, but you can tell me if that's different. Rats and, like, stray cats probably wouldn't attract that much attention. It's not like everyone would be like, oh god, it's a rat. No.
Measles would get kind of a disgusted look. Luna would just kind of blend in. Actually, Francine, a fox, might actually blend in a little as well, unless someone got right up on her. 100% Viola would need to kind of stick to the shadows.
Well, and then the other thing I was wondering is, like, Viola can climb. So
Very true.
could she, like, just get up with some elevation so that maybe she could get, you know, if you went up, far less likely for the humans to see you and scream and begin throwing bricks. I can stop by some of the, you know, rubbish piles in the alleys, get a view from there, grab some dinner or some breakfast. I'm not really clear on what time it is anymore. Food. I can go eat some stuff. Luna can just wander around, and Francine can do her best dog cat impression.
Dog cat.
I'm just going to say that I think that really your best bet is to just aim for the difference, split the difference right between the two, let the people see what they want to see. They're like, oh, look, it's a bright red cat. Oh, look, it's a bright red dog. Maybe they get arguing about whether you're a cat or a dog, and you get the fuck out of there.
I think that's like a little bit discriminatory. Like, I think foxes are like unique animals, and they're beautiful on their own. They don't need to be like dogs or cats. They are so great how they are. They are just perfect how they are.
You remember?
Thank you so much, Viola.
Francine, do you not remember the book that you had read itself to us that involved them hunting your kind for sport?
Well, yeah, but also like Brian would be hunting me too, and like Brian doesn't do that. He just pees in his bed.
Brian is
So
back with the rest of the familiars and is our friend. These people have housed a murderer.
Maybe they don't know. Anyway, you're probably right, and I'm not going to take offense to you saying that I could look like a cat dog. I think I want to go to church.
Yeah, let's like get some religion.
Welp.
Wait, when a spider does the sign of the cross, like how many times does it do with all the different legs? It's just sorry.
It's a different leg for each point of the genuflection.
Yeah.
It ends up looking a bit more like the Macarena, but
Okay, so have you guys decided exactly where you're going?
Church.
I think we're going to the chapel first.
the only people who have actually said a direct or a place to go said the chapel. I've just made comments on methods of getting there. I accept this.
Okay. So you have entered from the west. The chapel is up on the north. So, but in order to get there, you either need to walk back into the forest, up and around, which will probably take you another maybe hour or so to completely stay away from the village. Or you can sneak your way up to the backside of the buildings of the village and then just kind of work your way around.
I'm okay with trying that method. Like, I'm very sly and I want to roll for things. And worst that happens is somebody squishes me, right?
We hear a lot of activity in like the square, right? And like that's
Yes.
where you were saying there was a lot of activity. So do we think we could maybe stick to the outskirts of the buildings and still be not right in the middle of it all?
You could totally stay on the back sides of the buildings. You would still be able to kind of hear, and if you were curious enough, kind of peek around the backside of a building to kind of get a view towards the town square. But you could definitely very low key make your way around the backside of the buildings to the north side of the chapel.
Plus, there might be leftovers.
Aren't
Like,
you
at
like
the church?
Out back of the houses.
Okay.
are you not full yet?
Never.
Okay, so as you guys work your way very slyly to the back side of the building, you are able to hear the noise get a little louder. You're able to hear human voices, and it kind of sounds like music. You think that there's some sort of celebration festival going on, but one of you would have to kind of look behind a building to see if you could tell exactly what's going on in the town square.
I'd be happy to do that.
Same.
Okay. Roll me a sly roll.
But aren't I looking for things to understand? No, it's fine. Okay, so that's
I'm not Andy.
It's a D10, yeah.
Galway, if you wanted to change the picture to the town square.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, it doesn't automatically move you because I gave you GM permissions as well.
Okay, cool.
I rolled a 2 plus 1 sly is a 3.
Okay,
Terrible.
that is awful. That is
Yeah, I
absolutely
volunteered
awful.
to roll because I roll great. So you're welcome.
You actually so Francine, you try to walk up behind this building and you think it's a home. There doesn't appear to be any signage anywhere near it. So you're fairly certain it's a home. And that's good for you because that means it's probably empty considering there are human noises coming from the town square, because as you get up to the building and you try to peer out, you actually trip over your own paws and you fall flat on your face in the middle of the alleyway. And you make a loud oof. And one person who happens to be halfway up the alleyway, who is currently making their way to the town square, does turn to look at you.
Fox down! Fox down!
Arf, my bad, Arf, bark. And I try to just turn around and.
At this point, Luna's going to try to distract and come up and do like kind of curl in between the legs of the person and just put on cute cat. Start purring a little bit.
Clever. Roll me a clever roll.
Okay. I have a 0 in clever, so this is
Jesus.
great. An 8.
Oh, you totally you distract this person so much that they turn into heard humans respond this way to cats before, but you've never actually like experienced it. But this person quits looking at Francine and all of a sudden, oh good kitty, 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 kitty. Oh, what's that kitty scratch? Oh, what's that kitty scratch? Kitty, 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 kitty scratch. And they are trying to scratch the bottom of your chin and behind your ear.
Bark, 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 bark.
More moving, less barking.
So the person is completely distracted with the cat. Francine, do you back out of the way? What do you do? Are you still barking? Are you continuing?
Just stand there frozen. Bark, bark.
Francine, I would skedaddle.
If I can I use like her distraction to try and like still steal a look at whatever it was I was trying to look at, or?
Sure. Roll another sly roll.
Oh, it has to be sly again, huh?
Yeah, because it's kind of like the sneak.
Hey, that's a 10. Plus 1 is an 11.
Fantastic. So even though you
Bark, bark.
painfully fell on your face, you were able to recover with the help of Luna. And you look up and you can fully see out into the marketplace. And it is full of humans. They're walking around, they're dancing, they're eating. They are definitely celebrating something. You can see that up where the tables are that are generally selling goods, they have these banners and streamers. There are words on the banners, but again, you can't read them. But you can see that there are symbols of depictions, and it clearly looks like a human dead. And that's all you're able to make out at the moment.
Okay, and then I'll re-hide.
Okay.
Monsters.
So you guys can either continue to kind of scout out the festival, or you can head more towards the church.
Also, I don't suppose that the person hanging out in the alleyway cooing at the cat has...
Oh, kitty, kitty, kitty! You're so kitty, kitty, kitty! Come
has
with
like
kitty scratches, kitty scratches!
a hat and a beard and very nice swashbuckler boots.
No, this is clearly somebody who is in love with cats.
All right, we've extracted the fox. Wrap it up here.
Who's a good kitty? Kitty, kitty, kitty! And this person is just like rubbing your head, scratching behind your ears, and you feel their hands kind of come down up into your haunches like they're going to try and pick you up.
And at that point, Luna is going to pull the danger cat and skedaddle the fuck out of there.
Oh!
Sorry, cat person.
And then they kind of pout and then they head off towards the festival. So you guys are now unobserved and you've got the festival raging in front of you that there are banners of a dead person depicted on, and then you can continue on up around to the church.
like maybe like if they're like celebrating like that she's dead, and I'm not like saying this is like an okay thing at all, but like wouldn't like the guy who killed her be there like as a guest of honor? Like, so maybe we just need to like go hang out at the festival. Or we could still go to the church and be like really distractible. We can do anything, whatever. Everything is good.
What if the witch hunter died and everybody's celebrating that because he sucked?
Well, then we need to like find him and get his eyes.
Oh, that's a good point.
So what you saw, Francine, is banners with the strange squiggles on them, and then pictures of a dead person.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems probably not great in any direction.
No, yeah, it seems like they're celebrating to death, which is a weird choice, but we were just talking about tearing out everybody's eyeballs, so, I mean, I don't really know that we're in a place to judge.
Let me, who is without sin, cast the first stone.
It's Rat Jesus!
All of a sudden, Measles goes like this.
Oh, hands.
I lay on my little rat hands. Be healed.
So, going to church now?
Yeah.
Why, you're already with me. Disapproving spoon extraction.
Okay. So you guys are continuing on to the church. You right. So as you make your way around the backside of these buildings, Measles, you start to smell something that makes your mouth water.
Eyeballs?
It is not eyeballs, but it is meat, and it is cooking meat. And all of a sudden, you were compelled to find this smell.
So maybe we go. Do I have sort of a general direction of it?
Oh yes, it is. It's ahead of you because you're on the back side of these buildings, but you can see ahead. It's ahead of you, and then there's like almost a little alcove in to the right where it kind of goes into a building, and then you can see that there is like it's a bit of a slope, and there's this alcove, and then there's kind of like, gravel and stuff that kind of leads down a little, but it's definitely up in front of you. You are pretty sure it's coming from that alcove.
So something smells real good up ahead. Maybe we check that out, because the witch hunter seemed like a fancy bastard, right? Probably around the best stuff.
That's actually a really good point.
Thank you.
It's
Are
hard
you-
for me to agree with you, but I agree with you here.
You did call him Rat Jesus.
Healed.
So, Measles, you are going to lead the charge because you are now victim to your nose, and you are making your way up this little hill, and you come up to this alcove, and that's where you stop, and that's where the smell is the strongest. You are able to center in on this giant metal bin that you know that smell is coming from.
It's in the box.
The witch hunter is in the box, or the smell is in the box?
Maybe both?
Do you like actually think that, or are you just like trying to get the food?
Maybe both?
Can you open the box with your little rat hands?
How big is this bin or box?
Okay, so you guys are actually behind the butcher's shop. And with the festival going on, the butcher knew that he needed to have ample amounts of hot cooked meat ready and available for the vendors to be able to sell. And this particular butcher likes to cook his hogs in a huge metal bin that he keeps just outside the shop. You see it there in the back. It's on a little bit of an incline. And because of that, he likes to chain this big metal bin to a pole. So, it doesn't roll away. Unfortunately, though, today, with the festival and with the death of the witch, this butcher got a little sloppy. So this hog, being cooked in this giant metal bin, and the chain breaks. Hog falls off the spit and crashes into the raging fire beneath it, and the fire roars. And it starts rolling in your direction.
Oh, God! Or me! Burning pig, burning pig!
You were all far enough away that you have time to react.
I'm gonna climb up a wall and get away.
I'm gonna find the first thing that I can jump on.
Rat dodge.
Okay, so first thing you can jump on. So Lena and Chelsea need to roll a quick roll.
That's fine. 2 plus 4.
4?
Also 4.
4?
We suck.
So this thing is rolling towards us. I would probably just try to sort of diagonally move away. So increasing distance, but getting out of the path of its roll, if I can figure that out.
Okay, that would be an evade. So you need to roll a quick roll as well.
Five.
Okay.
I would be looking for anywhere that seemed safe to burrow or hide in, like a little hole I could squeeze in or something like that to see if I could look and find the best place to move out of the way.
Okay, so this big metal bin, and it's relatively the size of what we metagame would call a dumpster. It is really in this alcove. There are no little cubbies, but you think that if you were to lay flat, it might roll right on top of you and right over you and you'd be fine.
Okay, I'll do that. What should I roll for that?
Quick for evade, outpace kind of thing. This game is not kind when it comes to the rolling.
That's a 3 for me.
3. And not a single one of you rolled what needs to be rolled, which at least would have been a 6.
We all die in a burning hog fire.
You don't die, but I do want you all to realize you can use magic. You do have a spell each. Not trying to prompt
I'll
you to
have
do
the
anything,
pig read a
but
book out loud to me.
Don't forget that you do have that.
God, I'm just now picturing this flaming hog carcass reading the recipe for cooking it as it comes out. 3 pinches salt.
Real question. Can I conjure specific dinner? Can I conjure it out of its path into a different spot?
Can you conjure it into plated food?
Yeah.
The hog just dissemble.
Can I conjure this dinner?
You could conjure the hog, but then you still have to deal with the fire dumpster rolling at you.
Right. That doesn't really solve our problems, does it? Does anybody else have a better solution?
I could tidy it up and make sure it goes right side up again. I don't know. That's all I got.
I mean, would I be able to like put a seed in to like, or actually, would there be just sort of naturally occurring plant growth that I could use even to like divert the rolling?
So to divert the rolling, as in you would want to divert it, what, into a building or like down another path? Basically, so if I can kind of like, you're in the alcove, you guys came up to it. So the alcove would be here. Here's my hand. Here's the alcove. And you guys would be like right here. And it's starting to roll at you. So there is like dirt there on that little hill. There could be some weeds.
Yeah, so maybe if there's not enough to like divert it or hold it in place, even enough to just sort of slow it down. In order to sort of give us more of a chance to get away from it.
Yeah. I mean, the weeds, they would grow enough. They're dandelions, so I mean, you know that a dandelion kept can get a pretty thick stalk.
Well, I was sort of thinking like even growing it so it like wrapped around like the wheels a little bit.
Wrapped around the wheels?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why we couldn't make something like that happen.
Oh, I realized on my push to talk.
Yeah.
The wheels stop and the pig just gets flung forward as it stops suddenly. Just flaming pig. Woo. Sorry, continue.
If that's what you'd like to try, yeah, you do have to roll. And then you do get a danger point.
So what do I do? Is it just a flat D10 or does it still go off of one of the skills? I wasn't sure.
That one was like kind of weird too, but it just says
roll it. So blah blah blah. Using magic is. So your GM tells you what number you need to equal or beat. If a task is dangerous, you gain a point of danger if you fail. If you ever roll equal to or under your danger, you're in serious trouble. Using magic is always dangerous. So does that mean that every time we use magic, we gain a danger point, or it's all a failure on a magic roll?
No, every time you use magic, you get a danger point.
Okay.
Yeah. So for you to quickly grow the weeds up to kind of snag the wheel, I would say that's probably an 8. I think that would be kind of challenging. That's not really simple. It's a little more than basic because you're trying to quickly grow a weed specifically to snag the wheels.
It seems extremely unlikely to actually happen, but...
You also have seeds.
Wait. Can I conjure a huge banquet in the path of the dumpster?
So a huge banquet?
It's dinner. People eat banquets for dinner, Chris.
People eat banquets for dinner, correct. But what would familiars, woodland animals eat?
Banquets made of bugs. So a huge banquet made of bugs. Like an elephant size worth of bugs for dinner.
I also legitimately assumed that the witch taught her that spell so that she could conjure dinner for the witch.
That's true also, yeah.
This is true. That would be a lot of dinner. Again, I would call that a challenging. So you are free to roll for it.
Let's try your thing all and if it doesn't work, I'll try to conjure a banquet.
Well, I also think that I think that one seed would be enough to probably give us enough of a break with what I've seen of them?
Yeah, you do know that one seed would not cover the entire height of this dumpster, but it would cover up to probably a third of it to where you are fairly certain that these thick vines would stop it.
Top seed and ground, and I'll go ahead and try that.
You gotta just say your little magic spell and roll your die. Because you know this spell, I would say it's probably a basic spell for you since you're only using one seed. So a 7. That's what you need to beat.
Goddamn. 6.
Do you get to add anything to it?
if I'm using clever, sly, or quick, and we're ruling that it does, that boosts it to a 7.
Yeah,
think
I
I'm
would say
fierce.
quick because you're trying to be fast.
Okay.
What is your
8.
quick?
Then
8. Then yeah, you plant that seed in the ground. You hold your little rat hands over it, and you do this little like jazz hand thing, and you say a little mumble, and then yeah, it's just like that. And then all of a sudden, you see these vines come up very quickly, and they pop out of the ground, and they just start going in this way and that way and this, and then the dumpster kind of stops. But there are some like little pieces of fire that do kind of pop out the top just from that sudden stop, and kind of lands just right in front of you guys. You do get a little singe. None of you are severely hurt, but you have realized now that this is a dangerous mission.
This is a dangerous mission.
getting the
I
pig.
realize this now.
We just now.
Do you want to get the eyeballs of that flaming pig?
I mean, sort of just the whole pig experience.
I mean,
generally.
you seemed like real interested in eyeballs, so I just
Specific types. Also, the roasting ruins the texture.
thought.
You're thinking like you want the like eyeballs like raw? You're really into like raw eyeballs?
Sort of take them and I don't know. They a nice sort of texture. You know what? I don't need to explain myself to you.
I mean, like, okay, like, I mean, I eat bugs, so I'm not like really one to like.
Which have eyes, which you're eating raw.
But like, and I mean, I don't really eat them raw because, right? Like, I inject my venom into them, and it like cooks them. Like, maybe you should try injecting some of my venom into the eyeballs, not into yourself.
I was like, did you just tell me to shoot up venom?
To each their own.
So are we still going to church?
Yeah, I think we are, because, like, I don't think the shiny man is here. There's just a fire pig.
Yeah, maybe the fire pig is for the shiny man, but I don't think he's here yet. I think we should just go.
I totally agree. We are, like, on the same wavelength. It's, like, really synced up. We're like twins, and I'm really here for this. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I feel the same way.
Okay, you guys leave the smoldering fire pig and you continue along the backside of the buildings until there are no more buildings to be on the backside of. You kind of have crest the top of this circle for this town. You do see the church, which is kind of like, you know, it's just across the way, but it's open. So it would be an open run to this church building. When you come around this corner, you are able to look and see the festival is going on. You see there are many, many people. They're all currently focused on what looks to be like a stage. And there are 3 people up on this stage, and everybody kind of seems to be putting their attention on them. So in order to make it to the chapel, you would need to make a pretty good run as slyly as possible.
Are there like shadows and stuff that we can hide in? Because I blend in really well with shadows.
There are a few big trees that the sun is kind of casting a few shadows that you guys feel like you could blend in with, as long as you didn't make a whole lot of noise and didn't stop a whole lot.
Cool. So I'm down to try that. With sticking to the shadows.
Am I able to, like, from here see who's on the stage at all?
You can. You see that there are 3 men. There is a tall, kind of gauntish looking man, but he's dressed kind of all in black. There is a small man. He's short. He's dressed very flashy, very pompous. And then next to him is a man who, now that you think about it, actually kind of looks like the description you were given. He's got this big hat. The sun is shining off of his coat, which kind of makes it look shiny. You can't quite see his face yet, but you can see that he's got this hat and this appears to be shiny coat.
And is he like a large man?
He is a hefty man, for sure.
Do you mean a large man?
Yes, a large man.
man.
Sorry, Rachel.
He's a large man.
Not a gaunt man.
He's a hefty man.
Because that was the other thing that we had sort of gotten generally from the description, was that like he was, and I assumed like you would also, I think it wasn't just like the descriptions that the other familiars had given us, but like to strangle her would require a fairly large human.
Mm-hmm.
So like at this I almost said Virgil. Measles is just gonna like slap it, sort of like, Luna, hey, the one over there, not the scrawny one, not the short one. It doesn't, hat, shiny, large, seem familiar.
I mean, he does kind of sound like everything. I guess the only thing we don't know is if he smells of sweat and regret and salt. Does he have a mark on his face? Can we see that?
You guys cannot actually see his face. You are kind of seeing the back of him.
Would getting us towards the church take us more into the line where we'd be able to see the front of him?
No, going towards the church would take you away from the platform, and so you would still only be able to see the back of them. You feel like that if you went back maybe 2 buildings and kind of peered in between them, you'd be able to get a clearer view of the platform. But otherwise, going forward, you're only going to see the back. And any voices are going to be kind of muffled because they're not facing you.
Are we able to, is there a stealthy path to get to those buildings? Like, can we stay in our current course and like still be unseen?
If you guys just backtracked from where you're currently at, because you're just basically at the corner of the last building in that little circle row that you were going behind. If you kind of went back 1 or 2 buildings and peered between, you would be fine. You guys didn't come across anything on your way to where you're at currently, so you don't feel like you would stumble across anything if you backtracked a building or 2.
Should we backtrack a bit before we head forward to the church? I mean, I don't even know if we need to go to the church now. Maybe, I guess it just depends on what they say or look like or do.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. We should definitely do that.
I mean, the point of reconnaissance was mostly to find him, so...
Well, maybe he belongs in the chapel and we could find out more things about... No, you're right. We should backtrack and look at him.
Right there. Right there.
I already said you were right, okay, Measles?
No longer Jesus. You are Measles.
Measles.
Okay, Jesus.
Jesus.
Okay, so you guys you backtrack a building or 2 until you have got a clear enough opening that you are actually looking straight at the platform. And you can see this man has hair on his face, kind of looks like a beard. You're fairly certain that George said that he clawed the left cheek. You can only see the right one, so you can't quite pinpoint that. But the coat is still glimmering in the sunlight. He's got the hat. Everything but the scar is kind of fallen into place for you.
Okay, I mean, how many shiny bearded men are there in this village? It's probably him.
Now that we're more to the front of him, can we see his boots?
You can see his right boot. His coat is a long coat. It's actually kind of flowing down, but you can see his right boot. It is a very nice boot. It does kind of look like the way Brian described it. Again, it's a very nice boot. You can also see that the person who's kind of dressed very vibrant and pompous has his hand on this man's shoulder. He has to reach up because he is shorter. And then the man dressed in black, standing just behind him, is holding a book. You can see that he's holding a book, and the crowd is starting to murmur. And you can tell that the short man is getting ready to speak.
Can I cast a spell to make the book start reading itself aloud?
I do believe you're too far away for that.
Maybe we can hear what Shorty has to say.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. It's probably going to be hard to hear. They're probably going to say some pretty mean stuff about our mistress.
But think about how revenge will be so much sweeter when we take his eyeballs.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure we're ones to judge. We're currently scheming how to rip this man's eyes out.
Well, it's like eyes for a life. You know the saying.
An eye for an eye.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I think you said something about lice, which are delicious.
Jeezels. Sometimes.
I'm just gonna sort of like as we continue to just sit there and stare, sort of, be healed.
You guys are arguing, mumbling amongst yourselves. You hear, well, thanks to Wilford here, we are finally free of the forest witch. And this little man shakes his hand in the air as he slaps his hand on the back of the big man with the coat. But his voice is a little shaky. You're not like super acquainted with like human emotions, but you're fairly certain he's not like very confident with what he's saying. And so he slaps free of the forest witch. And then you hear murmuring from the people who are standing in front of the platform. And then one woman speaks up. But we still don't understand. We never had a problem with her. Why? Why did she have to die? And the mayor, he stops for a moment and he drops his hand from the man's back and he gets really nervous and he starts to fidget. And just as he's getting ready to kind of puff himself up and speak, the man that's dressed in black behind him puts his hand on his shoulder, kind of pulls him back, steps forward, and begins to speak. Yeah. Well, I know that many of you have kept the old ways. You have fornicated with pagans and bought their potions. But now that the church is here, we will set you free. And the cleansing of that vile witch was just the beginning. And after that, you hear more murmurs in the crowd. You have no idea exactly what's being said because they're just like on top of each other, these voices. And then the mayor, after looking around really cautiously, yes, well, as the good Reverend said, well, let the celebration continue. And with that, they all walk off the platform. And you see Wilfred head off towards the pub, which is back towards the west side where you guys had come in. And you see the Reverend get ready to head off in the direction of the chapel.
Okay, so we definitely got to kill the Reverend too, right? Because, like, the people actually seem really nice. Like, I'm going to say, I know what I said before, but I'm gonna say, Jesus, you can eat the Reverend's eyeballs.
It's a good day for Mises.
I mean, like, the lady seemed nice, and nobody had a problem with our mistress except for this jagoff comes in and starts talking about.
He also seems real fond of that building they've got, so maybe that goes away too, if possible.
Should we get the flaming pig and maybe go set it on fire?
Yes.
This is what I
Can
was
I like
thinking.
capture the flaming pig as dinner and set it on fire with it? I
It
think
is
I
a
can,
food item.
right? Or like, what is all that food that like comes like on fire? Like, there's food that you get when it's on fire.
Flambe?
Yeah, a flammable? Can I like I can get a flammable? Like convert flammable and set it on fire. This is an A+ plan, y'all.
Okay, so
So I feel like, yeah, here's what I think. I think that we should go to the church, flambe the Reverend, but make sure we get the eyeballs out first for Jesus so that he can eat them raw. Well, actually, so we don't want to just burn down the church house because everybody's gonna run and be scared, and that'd be bad. Because we still need to get, what was his name, Wilfred's eyeballs like safe. But I feel like we should do that while he's sleeping. Because I don't know why I feel that. I just do. But I just really hate the Reverend, and I want him to die right now.
Well, besides,
Yeah.
if it seems like most of the people in the village didn't have a problem with our mistress and are a little unhappy about it, and it was all the Gaunt one, maybe killing him and setting the church on fire will cause them to think bad things are happening because they killed our mistress. Maybe they'll do some of the murdering and eyeball extraction for us. At least the
I don't know if we
part.
can say, yeah, maybe the murder, but we need to make sure we can safely get the eyeballs.
Right. I'm like, I don't think
Eyeballs?
they have no against the eyeballs, right?
Yeah, the eyeballs.
Ibbles.
edibles.
So we need
Incredible
to
edible eyeballs.
So we need to summon flammables, but be sure to acquire edibles.
Great. So like, what's the actual plan then?
So can we somehow maneuver Flame Pig to church?
I can totally conjure him there because it's dinner.
You sound really confident, so I'm gonna believe you.
Chris, I can do that, right?
So the way I'm going to say that your particular spell work is that as long as you are envisioning what you want to eat, you can summon it.
Sweet. I want to eat fire pig.
Incidentally, I also do just have the fun song from SpongeBob. F is for fire that burns down the whole town.
U is for uranium. Bombs.
And his no survive.
All right, so are you guys using the shadows of the trees to go to the church? Are you? Yeah?
Let's burn the chapel down.
Burn it.
Oh, but I have a fun idea first once we get there.
I like to think that you in character. Oh, but I have a fun idea first. Like, yes, good. Let's go with that. I think for the first time we're really just all on the same page here.
Like it. Okay, using the shadows. I won't even have you guys roll for that since the trees, they're nice big oak trees. They cast a nice shadow. You guys are on a mission now. You were like, you're all on the same page for the first time in forever, and you are determined to make it to this church before the Reverend gets over there. So you maneuver your way through the shadows of these oak trees, and you make it to the side entrance of this church. Just so happens the door's open. It looks like that they've maybe been bringing stuff in and out. It's still, being built. They're still trying to get everything in there. So you're fashioning that it's left open because they're in the process of bringing stuff in and out. You guys enter the chapel. When you enter the chapel, you do hear two voices, and they're coming from ahead of you, and they're getting closer. So you guys either need to hide or very quickly round the opposite corner that the voices are coming from.
I'm gonna hide. Is there something to hide behind or under?
There are boxes, there are crates, there's a table, there's a chair. Like
Spiders come in boxes a lot because I found them in boxes and it's really upsetting. So I'm gonna hide.
Okay, there is an open box just to the left of where you came in from the door. There's a couple of open boxes, and like I said, there's a table, some chairs. It's a bunch of different things. It does for sure look like they're just moving things in and around. Anyone else?
I'll try and hide too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what I want to hide behind. Yeah, I'll probably just... I feel like, because you come to, like, it looks like they're moving stuff around, I feel like I would try to hide behind the thing that seemed, like, least likely for them to move.
Fair.
Like,
okay.
like if there's, like, a pew or, a statue or something where it's like, oh, this couldn't be moved, or it would be weird for them to be moving it, I would try to hide there.
A lot of that, like I said, there's a bunch of boxes, some tables and chairs. There are a couple, statues that it looks like they've just kind of been bringing in, and this is like their staging area. So the chances are that you would hide behind something that it's not being moved at this moment.
Yeah, so I'll do that.
Okay. Rachel, Chelsea?
Yeah, I want to just try and burrow into something, like find something I can just kind of crawl inside of. And
probably be boxes. There's maybe some like looks like cloth. It's just kind of like balled up in between a couple of boxes that you could probably burrow in.
Yeah, and I do the same, just hiding behind something that wasn't likely to be moved.
Perfect. Since you all want to hide, roll for sly. Hopefully you guys have at least something to add to it.
I rolled a 1.
I got a 10. God damn it, Rachel.
Oh.
Chelsea rolled a 1.
I got
Oh my god.
So I'm at a 10.
I'm at a
Golan
2.
I'm at a 4.
Okay, so Chelsea, what were you trying to hide in?
Just behind something that didn't move.
Okay. So Galway and Lena, you guys, Measles, you find this big hulking statue. You don't even know what it is, but it looks menacing. You're not quite sure what this is a figure of, but you are seeking refuge behind it. Lena, you crawl in this box and kind of like with your legs, you're able to pull the box kind of closed over your head, but you're still kind of peeking out, making sure these guys aren't coming near you. Francine and Luna, you both decide at the same time that you're going to try and hide in this what looks like maybe a blanket, but it's kind of behind a box. So you both think, oh, this is the perfect spot. We're going to hide there. And as you both at the same time go burrowing into this blanket, you crack heads and you just fall right where you're at. Both of your tails are exposed. You're in the blanket, but your tails are exposed. And so as Measles is hiding successfully, we've got Viola is just perfect and peering out. And then we've got Francine and Luna, who apparently have knocked themselves unconscious. These two men come around the corner, and they're talking. You understand human language, but this is weird to you. It doesn't sound like complete sentences. You have heard the witch before chant while making certain potions or doing certain things with herbs. And it kind of sounds like that, but slightly different. And as they walk in this room, they are actually headed out the door that you came in to go and grab more stuff. But as they're walking by, they do step on both tails that are sticking out of the blanket there, and you each get a danger point.
How many danger points is bad?
When you die.
So we don't know what that number is?
No.
You have to roll higher than however many danger points you have. So for you, probably 1 is bad. You're probably going to roll a 1 on your next roll, and then something bad is going to happen.
Yes, like if the result of your roll is below your danger point total,
yes,
then the big
it's
bad
really
occurs.
weird, but
I like how Rachel has gone into like, no.
That's real bad for me.
I know.
It
It's
is.
like once you start looking at the mechanics of this, you're like, Jesus.
I've already rolled multiple
Animals are supposed to win.
ones. No, not in Grant Howitt one-shots. Grant Howitt fucking hates animals and they die often. Sorry, Grant Howitt, I'm sure you don't hate animals.
I'm not sure he actually like met animals though, because of like if you read the stats for all these creatures, like he's got cats completely wrong. He's got foxes. Wrong.
Totally.
I don't know if he knows what an animal is. I really love his RPGs, by the way. These are great. I don't think he's ever.
Are you okay? I'm an elementary school teacher. Do you need me to teach you animals?
Yeah. Would you like a dictionary or one of the zoology books?
Right.
That might help just
get him a see and say.
Okay, so these two guys, they stomp on these tails and then they walk out. Viola, because you're still kind of peeking out, you know that the coast is clear and you're able to alert everybody. Measles is the only one that you're going to get a response out of, though.
Are we unconscious?
Yes, you did knock heads. So you are currently unconscious.
Measles, they're like not responding to us, and they just got stomped on. So they should have like made a noise, right? Is it fire pig time?
Maybe we shouldn't summon the fire pig when the 2 largest of us aren't responsive. Give me a second.
Right, like
I'm just gonna sort of like clamber down and like get over to the blanket, just like start slapping it where I think a head is. Like, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Oh, you make contact with both of their cheeks, and that is enough to kind of shake you guys out of your head knock.
Cat, dog cat. Time to roll out.
Your tails are sore, though.
Bark. Can I try to look at the door that the people just walked out of and see if I can lock it? Like use my little fox paw to try and like.
The door that you guys came in, so you don't want them to come back in.
Yes.
Okay. The door was open.
Did they just seem like 2 randos, or was it one of them the Reverend?
No, one of them was not the Reverend, but they were also dressed in black.
Okay.
But they were not the Reverend. They
like find their way back in. I just didn't want them to come back in immediately, you know. I think
right. The door unfortunately was still open because when you guys came in, the door was open. They went out. It's kind of like propped open. You could maybe move the rock that is holding the door open and close it and then attempt. But then you got to roll.
Yeah, I could die.
I think it's okay if they come back in and burn to death because they're church people too. So they were complicit in killing her. So we just
all right, let's find the Reverend first so that Jesus can get his eyeballs. His eyeballs.
Also, just to be clear, as much as I really do appreciate the opportunity to snack on some, terrible person eyeballs, the bigger priority is the murder and burning. So if we have to choose, feel free to make a plan.
Well, we should make sure that the Reverend is in here and that he's trapped. We should make sure that we lock him in a room or something.
Pulls out a seed.
So
oh, that's a good idea.
Just tell me when it's fire pig time.
These vines are also flammable.
I'd like to, maybe we can look around for where he is and see if we can like plant vines around.
You know that the 2 guys came from around the corner on the right. Around the corner on the left, you guys can kind of see. I'm just going to move you up to the doorway there to where you can see. There are 2 more guys in black over down in the right, and they're messing with other like boxes and stuff that's being brought in. But then to the left, there is a room, and it does have a door that's open. It kind of looks like maybe an office, and it's currently empty. You don't currently see the Reverend.
Can I try and like sniff around to see if I can kind of I don't know what he smells
Get his
like.
Reverend scent.
I'm a fox. I'm sniffy.
You can sniff. You don't smell the smell that was described to you for the witch hunter.
Is it a smelly smell that smells smelly?
You actually, no, let me take that back. You don't smell a strong smell of what was described as a witch hunter, but you do catch a whiff of something that does kind of smell maybe mildewy, but it is coming from the office area.
The way that our dead mistress smelled, it smells like that in this office.
Oh my god. Let's fire Peg.
What if we hide in the office and we wait for Reverend Fuckface to come in here, and then we lock him in, we vines it, we fire pig it, and we get the fuck out?
That sounds like a wonderful plan. I am so on board.
All right, let's go hide in the office. We're real good at hiding.
I love it.
I feel like
Okay, you
Measles
guys-
is just like, okay, we're making choices.
Question.
Yes.
Are there Bibles in the office?
You're about to find out. So as you guys scurry down the hall quietly, you get into the office, and there are bookcases. There are books. Again, you can't read human writing yet. You can have a book read to you, but you can't read human writing. But there are books. It does look like maybe a few of them resemble the book that the Reverend was holding. But then there's a desk, and on the desk there are a bunch of papers kind of sprawled out, and you smell that smell stronger towards the top of the desk.
I go look at it.
Okay. You go over to the desk and look at the papers. There are papers just sprawled out everywhere. You don't know exactly what they are. There's writing on them, but there are also photographs. And then underneath the photograph, there's some more writing. It looks like numbers. You've never seen one in person, but you have heard about them from books you've had read to you. If you had to determine, you would say that this was a wanted poster. These photographs, you actually resemble some of the people in these photographs. They are actually photos of witches that your mistress is friends with.
Like they've got wanted posters of other witches.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they're putting together a whole witch hunting brigade. All these are other witches that she's friends with. We gotta burn them. We gotta burn them all to
I
the
don't suppose
ground.
there's like potted plants in here.
No. Which is odd because you do smell earth.
So does anyone know where that sort of loamy scent is coming from?
I'm not even sure if I can smell things. Can spiders smell?
I think so.
Surely you'd be the one to be able to tell us that, given the...
I feel like I can't. I don't feel like I have a nose. I'm not even sure I breathe. Do spiders breathe? Anyway, I'm pretty sure I can't smell anything.
Was having an existential crisis in the middle of the reference office.
Maybe you should turn to Jesus. Can I sniff around? So is it there? It's really concentrated on the top of the desk. I can't like see anything
The
specific other than papers.
the earth smell that Measles is talking about, you smell it more towards like one of the drawers in the desk.
Hey, Jeezels, can you use your little right hands to try open this door? I smell a lot of weird earth mildew.
On it. Eh.
As you open the drawer and you peer inside, you see dirt. It's all in this drawer. And in the dirt there are pouches that look familiar to you. You've seen the witch fill these types of pouches with dirt, feathers, bones. She's always told you that generally they were given as either a source of protection or as a curse. But you don't know which one these are for.
Also, like, why would they have all of these?
Because you can't trust them.
So this is. Can I sort of? Or how big are these pouches? They're smallish.
They're for you. You would need both paws to pick them up, but you would think that a human could just hold one in their hand.
So I'll sort of. But I can. But they are the size that I could sort of wrest them out of the drawer without too many problems. So I'm gonna like sort of pull one out that has a soil smell. And sort of chuck it onto the floor, and then I'm gonna pull another one out with a soil smell.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna sort of point to them and be like, hey, Luna, pull that one over there. And take them over to the... So basically what I want to do is I want to pop one of my seeds into each of them, and then have them on basically flanking either side of the office door.
Are you going to cause them to grow currently, or are you waiting?
Waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is like really weird, right? Like, why do they have all of these? Do they collect them from the witches they've been killing? Or are they like witches themselves and they're trying to kill the competition?
Maybe they're those.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. Say, maybe they're those bad witches that we heard about in those stories that our mistress told us. Remember the ones that we weren't supposed to talk to ever in stories, the big scary ones with scary teeth? Maybe these are them.
We should look at their mouths. That's a really good idea, Luna.
So I'm just gonna make the point that churchmen that killed our mistress, evil witches, the competition, still getting a burning pig, right? So
right, yeah, like I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm just like concerned for when she's back alive. Like we gotta have it intel to give her, right? So she can combat this with the other witches.
Can I take the wanted posters and like fold them up and put them in my little bag?
Sure, you can't grab all of them, but you can grab a few of them. And you fold them up and you stick them in your bag. As you're doing that, and Luna, you have positioned these pouches where Measles has requested. You hear more speaking coming from down the hall, and it's no longer just the two that were down there when you guys came down, but now you hear that voice you heard from the platform. You hear the Reverend, and he has entered the chapel, and he is currently speaking to those guys, but it appears he's headed down towards the office.
One other question, sorry. Is there like a window or anything in here?
Yes. Behind the desk, there is it's a big kind of like two-paned latticey kind of window, the kind that it does push open and pull close. They are both just closed currently, but they don't appear to be locked.
So what if we all wait outside the window until he comes in here, and then boom, plant growth, boom, Bible read, boom, fire pig, and then out of here.
And then boom, like less plant growth, so they can't like climb through the window, right? We don't want them to escape.
Yeah.
We gotta burn.
I was gonna say, and at this, I'm going to now deposit 2 more. It's just like a windowsill, right? So 1 more seed in another pouch, and sort of get it ready more up there.
Okay.
Scrabble up with it.
Sure. Yeah.
I have one more question. So the potions that we brought with us, were they all healing potions, or was there potions of other kinds that could be beneficial to us right now?
You guys only knew her the way she categorized all her potions. I know that Francine wanted healing potions. I don't recall if you specified which potion you wanted.
I did not.
Okay, we can kind of retcon. Is there a particular potion that you would think would have come in handy?
Potion of fireball.
I would say
That is
something.
not created with a potion. That sorcerers don't use potions.
Something. I don't know. Like, I was gonna say something in either like the line of distraction or pulverizing. That's my thought.
Well, it also might
Oh.
be remember, like, our goal is the witch hunter, so it might be good to save something
Okay.
for when we get to him
Potion
to
of
get his
iron
eyeballs.
fireball.
Well, I
Can
was
you-
also going to say, like, if there was like a sleeping draft,
Yeah, or like paralysis or
Yeah.
something like that would be cool.
Can I have a sleeping draft
Definitely
potion?
would have had the types of potions that came in a little vial, kind of like I'm gonna lovingly, jokingly call it like ninja dust, where you would throw it on the ground and it would then kind of come out as a vapor and immediately drop anyone in the vicinity of the vapor into a sleep.
Okay, I think I'm gonna save that for when we hit the witch hunter, but it'll
Okay.
be good to know that we have that now.
All right. So you guys have positioned your pouches with the seeds. You are climbing up the windowsill, opening up the window. Which one of you is opening the window?
I kind of thought like maybe I would stand on either Luna or Francine's head to get the height, and then I have the little hands to be able to like. I'm sort of picturing the type where it's like the little ring
Mhm.
fastened on and like pull on that.
Yeah.
Like, back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you've got the window open. As you finish opening the window, the Reverend is coming down that hall. He's not looking up currently, but he does stop for a second, and then he starts to look up. And he sees what?
Is he in the office now?
He is headed to the office. He is like
He's
in the
not
hall
inside it
walking to
yet.
the door. Yeah. So I'm going to let you guys decide on how we fly with that one. Do you want to be jumping out the window as he's coming up and looking up to come into the office? Or are you wanting him to see you?
I kind of wonder if seeing us would be good, so he might come towards and.
I was kind
I
of
don't
wondering
know.
if maybe like he sees like one of Francine or like Luna's tails or something, like sort of like, because I was kind of picturing that I was going to come out and then scooch around the edge of the window so that I could peer back in, but like he either
Okay.
sees like a rat tail or like a fox or a cat tail or something, just sort of like oof.
So you opened up the window. I feel like Viola probably needs to be the first one to get out. She's bigger. She needs a little more time. So she clambers out, and then you walk out behind her, Measles. And then we've got Francine. And then just as Luna is clearing the windowsill in her tail, he sees just this little wisp of a tail go by. Huh? What? Who left that window open? Fine creature. He continues on into the office. He walks in and he closes his door. And he walks over to his desk. And he looks down at his posters. He's very proud of these posters. Soon the cleansing will be done, and his work can begin.
Damn right it will. Gotta cleanse you with fire.
So was the order plants, Bible, fire?
Plants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, plants, Bible, fire, plants. You gotta book in the plants.
Okay. There's lots of rolling that has to happen.
Or I guess you can do the plants like at the same time because we're out the window already.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say we're already out, so we can lock him in, basically.
Right.
Cool, let's do this. We got this.
Right. So plants, Bible, fire. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're doing the plants all at the same time, that can just be one roll as you set the... So Rachel is outside the office door and has been meowing for a half an hour and clawing because she wants in. But you guys know
My
I can't
brain
let
is
her in
like,
because she
what?
jumps on my head.
I know, I was like,
So it's
what,
killing
wait,
me.
how did you get back out to the
I
door?
was like,
What the
how did I
fuck is
get
going
outside the
on?
office door. I
This
thought
is-
that I went out the window.
This is the type of shit that I do.
Okay, so you can roll one magic roll to set off the growth of these seeds. Don't currently have a danger point, do you?
I do. I have one.
Okay, one.
Because I'd used the spell before.
And you have to roll below it, right? So you
Yeah, I can't
roll below a
actually
one.
die, or I can't actually get the major complication with 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Is this, I don't know, sly, quick, clever, fierce?
This, well, I would call it sly,
So 4.
trying to not let him see you. So we only need them to kind of block him in, which is thankful, because you're not going to be able to get the full growth that you were probably hoping for. But you do your little magic rat hands, and the vines start coming out of these pouches, and the two that are on either side of the door start intertwining, and they make it up about 3/4 of the way. Same with the one there on the windowsill, and you hear, what the hell kind of vile magic is this?
Fear Mises and give glory to him.
And then I'm gonna cast my spell to have the Bible read aloud to him. And you can decide this if you want, depending on how things work, but I found a fun Bible quote to say.
Fantastic. I love that so very much. I feel like you should roll a clever, because it's going to be kind of interacting with the human stuff, making it read.
That's a 10, baby.
You shake your little foxy tail, and is it a particular book? Is it one Bible that you're just kind of... Is it the one he sat on his desk, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the one he's been carrying that is like probably sacred to him, so this is going to freak him the fuck out.
Absolutely.
And
I
you
just
do
want
your...
I want like a booming voice, and I'm gonna read I will fill your mountains with the dead, your hills, your valleys, and your streams filled with people slaughtered by the sword. I will make you desolate forever. Then you will know that I am God.
And at that,
We have radically different interpretations of funny Bible quotes.
he stumbles backwards because this book not only is reading its own words to him, but it is also kind of floating in the air. And it is floating there, and this loud voice just booms at him. And he steps back and he falls into the vines that are blocking that door. And he realizes that he is now trapped with a book that is talking to him. And this is beyond what he is expecting for this day to go with.
Fire pig time.
Okay, are you wanting the fire pig to appear in his office? Or in like a portion of the chapel somewhere?
It probably makes more sense to do it like right outside his office so that he can't stomp it out.
Right outside. Okay. So then, maybe, I don't know if that's a clever or a fierce.
I think that's pretty clever because it's like food. It's human food that I'm interested.
True.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, clever sounds right. Roll your clever, and do you have a danger?
I do not yet,
Okay,
and
I
I
didn't
got
think
an
so.
11 total.
Oh, fan-fucking-tastic. Look at you. Okay. You're standing there and you're like, yes, fire pig time. And your little front legs start kind of moving like this. And then you hear pork? I smell pork. And then far away outside his door, you hear a couple of people start yelling fire. And then all of a sudden, there is this raging fire. You guys are seeing the smoke. It is coming under the door. It's wafting through these vines. And then all of a sudden, the Reverend is now beating on these vines, trying to get out this door. And you guys, you have successfully set the chapel on fire.
Fuck yeah.
It does cause the festival celebration to obviously come to a halt. And several people are now running towards the chapel. You guys have made your way out the back. You are safe. You come around. You see that all these people are running this way in order to just move this along just a little. I'm going to have you kind of go towards the left. You do notice that all these people running towards the chapel to, deal with this fire, the witch hunter is not one of them.
So we saw him going towards the tavern, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess we'll head over there and try to find him. Hopefully he's alone and we can knock him out and steal his eyes.
Hopefully he's in a drunken stupor.
If he's not alone, we can hopefully watch him until nightfall and follow him to his home and then, wham, bam, eyeballs.
How long do we have left? What is our timing right now?
You're still on your first day. You were given 3.5 days to find and kill the witch hunter.
And in one day, we've managed to burn a church.
Yes. Yeah. So it is getting closer to the evening. It's probably now, because you guys are animals, you're small, it takes a lot longer to do things. It's probably coming up about 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. The festival has been raging all day long. These people are obviously happy that the witch is dead.
Are they still just having a festival and is this turning into Burning Man?
They have stopped the festival to run to the chapel to investigate to see, if they can. You see, as you guys are rounding the building, kind of heading off straight ahead to go towards the backs of these other buildings to make it over to the tavern, you see that there are a few people trying to create a water brigade. They're got these buckets and they're trying to bring water from the fountain and put this fire out. You do hear one person say, "That was delicious. Is that my pig?" And from then they're just now busy with the chapel.
Hypocrisy.
So you guys are now headed down to the pub.
Victory drinks.
No, it's to find the witch hunter.
That too.
As you guys get to the pub, you hear a couple of people talking outside, and it's 2 men, and they're standing just outside the door, kind of off to the side of the door. They're kind of hushed, almost like they don't really want anyone else to hear them. They definitely don't want anyone else to hear them. But you hear one man go, I don't know about you, but I can't wait till this guy's out of here. I mean, we let them move into our town and tell us what we have to believe. And then they bring this guy in here to just kill the one person who helped our sick and gave us things to make us feel better. And they tell us that that's not the way we're supposed to be, but that's what that's what we liked. That's what worked for us. I can't wait till that guy's out of my tavern, man. I don't like him sleeping in my room. And then the other guy there's that guy, that reverend. I mean, he just looks at you with those dead eyes. I don't want to say anything. So then
his eyes are really dead.
Yeah, they carry out their conversation and they head back into the tavern. So you guys have learned that the witch hunter he's not actually from this town. And he doesn't have a home here. He's staying in the tavern.
So let's sneak inside and find his room. I mean, Luna can just like walk in, right? Luna's a cat.
Yeah, the cat could just even Measles the rat. He could definitely scurry along and make his way around if he wanted to go in and scout out or try and hear anything. He definitely would not be seen in the tavern.
Does healing potion get rid of danger? What does the healing potion heal?
Like it would have healed you, like it could have healed your tail.
So could I take one?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'll say if you take one, it would take away a danger point.
Sweet. Okay, so because I gained one because I used the magic, and now I'm back down to 1. Okay. I was like, I should be safe because I could roll a 1 at any moment.
Yes, probably. So, what do you want to do? Do one of you want to go in and kind of scout around, see if you can figure out what room he has, or
would I be able to go in if I were pretending to be a cat dog? Or is it up close? Is that too much? Like, no, that's definitely a fucking fox.
You would definitely draw attention. I mean, these people have been partying all day and they are probably 4 sheets to the wind. But I feel like a fox inside would probably still catch their eye.
Maybe Luna and I can go in?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, if we need to escape, she can always pretend to chase me and we can flee.
Sure. All right. You guys make your way in. You're able to avoid being stepped on, really kind of avoid the people. It's like I said, like 9 o'clock at night. So there's some lights in there, but it's not super bright. So you're able to stick to the shadows and kind of work your way around. The gentleman that you heard talking about wanting this guy out of his pub is now behind the bar, and he's serving up drinks. You see probably about 10, 12 other people who are in here who you kind of get the gist that they could care less if that chapel burns down. Obviously, because they're not out helping. But you don't see the witch hunter currently.
Do we see any stairs or doors?
Yeah, towards the back of the bar room, there are some stairs that kind of go up to the left. When you were coming up to the tavern, you could tell that it's a 2-story building. You're fairly certain that since the bar is down below, there's probably a room or 2 upstairs that he runs out.
Maybe if I can continue sort of skirting the edge of the room to get to where the stairs are, or
Sure.
whatever would be the stealthiest rat path.
Yeah, definitely staying to the walls and kind of just going a straight line would work. But there are tables, and there are, like I said, a half a dozen people in there. Maybe, I don't know, it's not half a dozen, but a dozen people in there been drinking. Probably should roll a sly, see if you can stay to the shadows.
7.
Perfect. You are able to very successfully stick to the shadows and work your way around. You actually you find a couple of peanuts on your way. You're able to stop and have a little snack. You make your way over to the stairs. Luna, you're in there as well?
Yeah.
Are you kind of following him, or are you just kind of scoping everything out?
Does it make sense for us to go the same path, or does it make, because you said how many rooms are there upstairs?
You don't know for certain, but you kind of get a feeling that there's, at least 2, maybe 3.
I would go upstairs as well.
Okay.
So let's see.
Yeah, roll a sly, because while a cat will, not like draw heads. Cat going upstairs might.
13.
Okay, yeah, you stroll in there like, cats do because they rule the roost. And you just stroll right up in there with your tail all up, all prim and proper, and you make your way on over the stairs. And you are unaccosted. The kitty lover is not in there.
God.
But yeah, now you both are over by the stairs. Francine and Viola, where outside are you guys waiting?
I'm waiting somewhere where I'm hidden.
Yeah, maybe like if a back alley, maybe if like we can look at the windows up or something as we like kind of look around the back alley to see if we can see him or the two of them, like once they
so
get into the rooms or things.
Yeah, you make your way back around the building. And actually, you have seen the backside of this building before because this building was over on the west side, which is the way you guys came in. So you can see it's a 2-story. There are windows. One of the windows is open. One is closed, but there is a light on. The room where the window is open, the light is not on. But the window there is open. It is 2 stories. Viola, you feel like if you wanted to climb it, you could climb it no problem?
I might do that to check out what's going on. It's dark now, right? Like
yeah, it's like 9:30 now, going on 10. It is
really
dark.
well.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So you climb up there, and are you peeking in the window that's open or the one that is dark? Or the light is on?
Which one's closest?
You're underneath both of them. I mean, like literally you split the difference.
I'll check the open one first because it's dark, so they shouldn't be able to see me.
Okay, yeah. You go over to the open window and you look in. You see a bed. You see a table. It's a small table, like one that maybe one person would sit at to eat. There's a chair. There's a sink. But there's nobody in there.
Okay, I'll check the closed one very carefully.
Okay. You climb over to the closed window that has the light on, and you kind of peek in, and you see kind of the same layout as the other room, but this room has the witch hunter in it.
Cool. I'm going to go back down to Francine.
Okay.
Is that your name? Yes. And tell her that. Hey, so like I think I found the guy. He's like totally in that lighted window up there. But like Measles and Luna aren't with us. So I guess we just wait till they come back.
Yeah, or hopefully, or I don't know if they're gonna go in to try to find it from the inside. Maybe we could search around here in this back alley to see if there's any good instruments that we could maybe use with our paws or our mandibles, or I don't have mandibles, you know what I mean.
Right.
For eyeball scooping.
Yeah, like a spoon. Maybe we can find a spoon. That'd be like perfect.
Or like a grapefruit spoon where they're just like slightly serrated on the side.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would be so great.
Pop out an eyeball like it's a little grapefruit section.
Perfect. It'd be so wonderful. Okay,
Little
let's
grapefruit
try
section.
gouging things. So I guess we'll look for gouging things in this alley.
All right. We'll leave you two to kind of look around. Measles and Luna, you guys have successfully made it to the stairs, and you are now up the stairs. As you come up the clearing of the stairs, there is just one hall, and you see 2 doors. One door is open. The room is dark. The door down the hall is closed, and you can see a little bit of light coming from underneath the door.
Let's check the dark one first.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I think we're gonna need your tiny little rat hands again because pause.
Well, this door is open, right? So like you could just
Yeah, you guys can just walk right on in.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't know how open it is. I'm like, you'll probably do better to just sort of bump against it to open it if we need to.
Yeah, like cats do when they force their way in. Yeah.
Do that.
But Yeah, you do that. This door, it's open. It is dark in there. You see a bed, a table, a small table, a chair, but the lights are off. There is a window, and the window is open, but there is nothing and no one else in the room.
I'm gonna scrabble up to the window to see if I can see Francine and Viola.
Sure, you look out and you see Francine and Viola. They are rummaging around in trash bins.
Hey, that's my thing. It's my thing. My thing.
Do we hear Measles?
You guys can hear him. It's not super loud, but you recognize his voice.
Measles, like he's in the room. Like,
Shh. You should climb up and talk to him.
oh,
Quiet, like.
I mean, I think I just make like hissing noises, but yeah.
Oh, that's fair. I guess they can't understand us because we're all animals.
That you're right. So I'll climb back up there. Measles, I think he's in the room like right next door, the lighted room. So we're looking for gouging instruments. So if we can find gouging instruments, how are we gonna get Francine inside?
Can you make her like a rope to climb up?
I think Luna brought rope.
Is there like ivy or stuff?
I have my rope around my neck. Still, I don't know if it's long enough.
Can a fox climb a rope?
Probably not.
Are the three of us strong enough to pull a fox with a rope tied around it?
Is there like a beautiful trellis of ivy going up the... Hey, wait, you have ivy seeds.
It's also another danger point for him.
Oh, that's fair. I guess you like...
I'm at 2 already.
I was at 2, but then I...
No, you guys are looking and you're trying to figure out a way for Francine to get up there. And you don't think you could pull her up with the rope that Luna has. There is no trellis for a fox who probably couldn't climb it anyway. But you do think that you're light enough that if Viola was willing, you might be able to climb up on her back.
I'm like totally down with that. That sounds like a great plan. Just remember, if I get spooked, you might get a little itch.
I think that sounds just fine. I'm not worried about my fur or my skin at all.
I am so glad.
But just, a small thing. Foxes don't have hands to hold on.
Can I, web her to me?
Please.
Okay. This is a great plan. So
Make a baby Bjorn out of web for a fox.
Yeah. Oh my god, that is such a... My cat is really sick of me making this voice. That is such a great plan. Okay. So I'm gonna do that.
You spin your little web and papoose Francine to your body.
Okay.
Carry me.
I've got you. So we can go up, and then did we find gouging instruments? Did we have time?
No, you did not find anything successfully that you thought would really work without damaging the eyes.
Cool, we'll improvise. Okay, so let's go up and totally get this guy's eyes. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna climb up.
Okay. You I'm not even gonna make you roll for this because you papoosed her, and that made me so happy. So you climb up and you're able to climb up into this open window.
I just picture Francine slung on your back with her paws folded in like a little cat, eh.
The 4 of you are now standing in this dark room with your vile enemy in the room next to you.
So, door open. How?
You have rat hands.
What if Luna's spell lets her tidy, clean, and mend? Maybe she can tidy and mend the lock into an open position, because everybody knows that the clean place for a lock to be is unlocked.
That is
Totally.
definitely true. I learned that when I was learning how to clean.
See,
We could also see if he would open the door if she just sort of mewed at it a little bit.
Oh, what if he like
tidy and clean the lock.
Okay, make that lock fucking sparkle, I guess.
The insides are so clean, the lock just slips out.
I'm almost positive that's not how that book on lock making you had read itself to us described it, but
Yeah, it said something about pieces and bolts and that they slide. So if you make them real clean, they'll slide off each other. It's just logic. Listen, I think we all know who knows more about science here, all right?
I could conjure
healed.
food inside the lock like oil. Oil.
No,
just-
it's like a foam bursting, right? So just get some kind of like foam food in there that expands.
yeah.
Or I guess you could just meow outside the door. That's fair too. I could bark. Bark, bark, bark.
I'm
bark,
just
bark.
not really sure that's what barking sounds like.
I mean,
not-
that's what Brian sounds like.
No, it is.
I guess the question is, and I'm really going to regret this, but what does the fox say?
Not bark. It's that I'm just like what thing.
Yeah, I wasn't about to do it.
Okay, I guess so. If he opens the door, do we all run in and Luna throws the vial? Or okay.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't it kind of put people to sleep in an area generally? So maybe
That's a good point. So maybe he opens the door and Luna throws the vial.
Yes.
We all just take a nap.
Luna's gonna put on her best Puss in Boots eyes to really like lure this guy into look how cute I am, and just start sweetly
he really
meowing.
loved boots, apparently. So
Right? Start meowing and scratching and just being obnoxious at the door.
So you're
Puss and
meowing
swashbucklers. I'm
and
sorry. I'll
scratching
stop.
at the door. Are the three of you standing there with her, or are you trying
Like
to be
hide
seen?
in the shadows near the door, but I'm a spider, so I'm not
I'm
noticing.
gonna be in the room next to it. I don't hide well, so I'll just wait for the coast to be clear.
you could probably legitimately be above the door, Lena.
Oh yeah, I can do that. I can drop on his head if he tries to escape and bite him. That's the plan.
I am so here for that. Okay, so Luna, you are meowing and scratching at this door, and you hear some chair move, and you hear some muffled. What the fuck? Who the? I hate animals. Who the fuck let an animal in this building? There, I'm gonna. And he comes over and he yanks open the door. The hell? And he just stares at you, and he is drawing back a foot. Fairly certain he's going to kick you.
Okay. Also, a side note, we're just gonna pretend like I got the vial off of my collar thing, right? At this point,
Legitimately, you could probably also just like tug on the end of a string and have it like.
Yeah, it was
Release.
not tied very well.
Okay.
It's actually remarkable that it's still on your neck.
right? So right as he is pulling his boot back to kick me, I'm gonna throw that in. I'm gonna try to. Actually, I'm not gonna try to escape. I am gonna escape.
Roll a quick.
Okay. 9 plus 11.
Yeah, you kind of pull up like cats do when they're going for that collar, and you grab that string and you yank like this, and it kind of like does this bullwhip thing where it just throws that vial into the room and it lands right behind him. And then you're able to just kind of, you juke out of the way of this guy's foot, and you have never felt more invigorated. And so that vial explodes and these fumes are coming up. You have moved out of his way. Lena, you're up above the door. He turns around, he's like, the hell? And as what the hell? And he kind of inhales, and he kind of shakes his head, and he's trying to get it out. He has a feeling he knows what this is. This isn't his first rodeo when it comes to magic, but he does kind of stumble, and he's actually trying to walk out of the room.
I'm gonna drop on his head and scare him so he can't keep trying to walk out of the room.
Okay, so you just fall right on his head?
Yeah.
Okay, you fall on his head, and you just like you're a hat now, or are you doing anything to him?
I'm gonna bite his head. I'm gonna drop on his head and start biting him. I looked it up. It's not enough to kill him, but it's probably pretty unpleasant. It probably hurts quite a bit.
Yeah, and it hurts like hell. So I mean, it's not like he's having fun with this. He now has this spider hat that is biting him, and you're attacking his forehead, and you're trying to not get anywhere near his eyes, but you are biting the crap out of his forehead, and that's enough to make him stumble backwards. And as he stumbles backwards, he does kind of slip on the glass from that vial, and he just tumbles right on back, and he lands prone, and he is knocked out.
Fucking beautiful. So we just gotta kill him now and then take his eyes. Hard part's over. Good job, Luna. That was beautiful.
Okay, so now do we need to kill him first? Let's just take his eyes out. Is that wrong?
He's totally unconscious. So you don't even have to use the potion that you were given unless you want to.
Does the potion kill him?
The potion does kill him.
Yeah, we should kill him because fuck him?
Yeah, I feel like we should kill him. Just to be sure, right?
Sage told us to, so yes.
Right.
What does giving him half the potion do?
Why? Do you want to kill somebody else with that?
No, I was just debating the value of just maiming him.
No, I think we should kill him.
Because I'm afraid that then he'll try and turn himself into a martyr.
And also, torture makes Lena really uncomfortable.
I mean, they're going to... let's put it this way. Either way, they're going to find this guy dead on the floor of his room with his eyeballs pulled out. So, message sent.
And eyeballs.
Okay, so potion and eyeballs. Got it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay,
potion.
So, Viola, you were given the potion that you have kept in your spider sack. But you're not able to get the cork off.
Okay, teamwork makes the dream work, right? So, which of you can get this off? Come on, let's go.
How about I hold my paws against hold the jar, and then Jeezels pulls out the cork.
Now is the time for little rat hands.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Yeah. So you get that cork off. And he, like I said, he's prone. He is knocked out. His mouth is agape. You can walk over, Measles, and pour this vial in his mouth.
Yep.
Do you pour the whole thing in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You start to see that it a little bit of liquid is kind of trying to pull up on the corner of his mouth. You're not 100% sure that he's swallowing it.
Oh, somebody struck his throat, they do in we don't have movies. They do in books and stuff. Luna, you could strike his throat and just be get him to swallow.
Yeah. Just envisioning that right now, kind of Just like
I also am going to say that like there is now
Make biscuits on his throat. Sorry, go away.
there's a rat like pinching his nostrils, and like I'm going to just pinch his nostrils and hold on with my forelegs and then use my back legs to like close his mouth.
Well, Luna's like beating his throat to get him to swallow.
yes.
Take your medicine. Take your medicine.
Okay, you see that the liquid is receding, and you hear, and you are now certain that the potion has gone down his throat. And he lays there, and all of a sudden, he just starts violently twitching.
Oh there.
And
Oh
then-
there.
And he's twitching, and his feet are clambering, and those boots, those beautiful boots, are just banging on the ground. And then all of a sudden, he's just done. No movement, no breath. Done.
Nice.
He did.
Now,
Okay.
you must retrieve the eyes.
Yeah, we like just need his eyes now. So, what's the plan here?
Do you think cat claws would be effective? And
Oh, you know what? Cats eat your eyelids when you die. So maybe you can like eat all the soft skin around his eyes and just chew those right out. I'm so sorry, Rachel. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. They eat the soft parts first.
Hey, you're both licking yourselves over there. Guys.
Okay.
Wow. Just look at them plotting my eyelid death.
Die, Rachel. Just don't die.
Yeah, don't die with them around you. You'll be fine.
I promise I will never die.
Just leave out some dry food, just in case.
So it's either dry food or eyelids. Okay.
Okay, real talk. Like Luna, you could just like chew all his like eyelid bits out, and then we can just like kind of pop them right out. I think it would work like super good because that's all that holds your eyes in. I don't know anatomy. I'm a spider.
It's revenge for my mistress, so I just won't think about it. Okay, let's do it. And then she'll just start gnawing.
I mean, I
Beautiful.
could probably help. I've got little fox teeth.
Yeah, you can each like take one eye. It's so good.
Wait,
This
why
is
did
so good.
I offer? No.
Join
See?
us, Rachel.
They're a delicacy.
It's for our mistress.
Nice.
Sit in a corner and face the corner.
You're not gonna help. You're letting Luna
A
do it all.
defeated rat or a defeated fox sitting.
Okay, so we don't make it any more horrific than it needs to be. Luna is able to eat away the eyelids and the soft tissue around both eyeballs, but they still kind of need to be plucked out. Measles is right in there. Like, there's no hesitation. He just digs his little rat hands in and yanks them out.
Since
And
I
two.
drank a potion, do I have room in my bag for eyeballs? Since I have one vial fewer.
Yeah, you do. But you're kind of afraid that the vial might squish them,
Okay,
so you might want to wrap them in something.
Could we put
I can
them?
wrap them in my spider webs, my spider web, my spider web. We keep them safe. Cushion.
I was also going to say,
Sure.
could we? If you kept the vial from the potion that you drank, could we fit them in that? Or
No, they would probably pop if you tried.
okay,
to
I
squish
wasn't
them
sure
away.
what size we were looking at
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Okay, so Viola spins out a little bit of web to wrap the eyes in. And you guys have successfully killed the awful, awful reverend who led this piece of crap church, and you burnt down that chapel. And you have killed the witch hunter and successfully pulled out his eyes without damaging them, but you have damaged people's souls by telling them that cats eat
I'm
eyelids.
so sorry.
So,
It's just sitting there
It's
looking
a
at the
win-win.
eyelids, going like, delicious. Someday. Someday.
but last problem that you guys got to figure out before you can head back to your cottage. How are you getting out of this room?
Can we just go back the way we came? Well, yeah, basically, like, can I still climb back down with Francine on my back and Luna and Measles can just walk out?
Sure.
We are going to casually, with great purpose, walk out of this place. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Victory.
You definitely can. Measles and Luna, you are not walking out with any kind. I mean, you have some viscous fluid like on you.
Oh yeah, I'm just
like,
leaving little
all over your
footprints.
eyeballs.
Mhm.
Yeah, oh, yeah. You guys are traipsing out. Not gonna make you roll because you're not kind of taking your time. You are headed straight towards that door. You guys make your way out. Francine and Viola have climbed out the building, and you guys regroup on the backside, headed off towards the cottage.
Beautiful.
So we will speed up this day process of getting back to the village, and you get back to the cottage. You've spent a day traveling. You come back just as the sun is rising, and Sage sees you come up the walking path. And you guys, you're tired. You're covered in yuck, smell of burnt pig and vines and earth. But you ooze victory. So Sage at once sees you. Yes. Vengeance is ours. Please, please tell me. Tell me all. Did you kill him?
Yeah, we killed him, and we also killed another guy and burdened him with a pig and some vines and the Bible.
Yeah, it was really like beautiful. It was a really like, I would say, like, spiritual experience. Like, I feel like I'm so much closer to divinity now.
I'm right here.
I don't. You burned him with a pig? How
And
does
a
it? And a book. Was the pig in the
vines.
book?
I think it has something to say on the subject. He seemed really offended by pork, which was weird. If he was I don't know. He seemed like he had issues. A lot of issues.
Well, he obviously deserved to die. Now, the witch hunter, he's dead. You have his eyeballs, yes?
Yeah, we like totally killed him and got his eyeballs. Luna and Measles were MVPs with getting those removed.
I ate his eyelids.
Oh, jeez. I just start
So
patting
much
my fur
disgust.
all over myself again, and then get my bag and then pull out the.
I start cleaning myself. Like,
Okay, so the eyes, come. We have no time to waste. And so Sage beckons you to come to the backside of the cottage where your witch mistress is still covered with the vines. She's still prone. Her hands are laying there open. The palms of her hands are the only thing that are not covered with vines. And Sage directs you, Francine, quick, 1 eyeball per hand. Quickly.
I would have thought we'd be aiming for the mouth, but okay.
Mouth. Not everyone eats things. Measles.
Yes.
I mean,
everyone eats things
But they
actually.
don't. You are a vile little creature.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So quickly, eyeballs in the hands.
Rachel, I don't think we can hear you. Are you pushing to talk?
No, I'm trying to get my cat to come to me.
Oh, okay. That's
I'm
fine.
sorry. I'm saying, come here.
I know. I was like, what is she saying? I
kind of picked up on the fact that I thought she was beckoning at Cat, and I'm like, okay, I don't think this is actually. So I'm assuming you're putting the eyeballs in the hands.
Okay. So as
Just assume she's
Francine puts eyeballs in hands, all of the familiars now gather around the witch as she lays there. And as you all gather around her, you show him your eyelids. You begin to hum. And you're humming, and it's not so much that you want to hum or you even know how to hum, but you're humming. And as you hum, you see your mistress's hands begin to flex, and the fingers start moving, and then more of the fingers, and then they flex into fists. And as they flex into fists, they squish the eyes, and as the eyeballs squish, her eyes pop open. The vines come off, and she sits up and she looks at all of you. My precious, precious little friends, you have brought me back. You are so brave. But now is not the time for cheering. She stands up and she pets every single one of you on your head and smiles, and she brushes the dirt and the leaves from her dress. We have charlatans to kill. And that's the end. And that's it.
Yay, that was great.
That was amazing.
A lot of fun. I fucking loved this.
Yeah. No, seriously, this was a blast. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for playing. Thank you so much to Chris for DMing. I hope that you can start DMing for us more. If you feel up
it
to
was
it.
really good.
Everyone's up for a dumpster fire once in a while. And I did do one.
Oh yeah, we did actually have a dumpster fire.
It almost killed us. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone who tuned in and watched. Like I said, if you enjoy this, if you enjoy potentially getting to hang out with people who decide that their characters are Mises, or know facts about cats eat your eyelids, or playing a cat who's then willing to go eat that eyelid, you can use !Discord and get a link to join our chat. Or not our chat, get a link to join our Discord. We hang out in there a lot. We do movie nights. We have one coming up tomorrow, I believe, for The Room. Speaking of dumpster fire, an actual dumpster fire.
Just one on top of another.
This was not a dumpster fire. It just had a dumpster fire. You can use that link to join us. We have a lot of fun there. You can, again, follow us here on twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. Check us out over on YouTube, where you can see the archives of all of our streams. You can follow us on Twitter @helpfulgoat or Insta @helpfulgoat. You can just hang out with us so that you get lots of shots of Rachel exposing her cat's fangs.
I love that cat so much.
It's just shaking.
So
thank you so much. We appreciate it so much for you tuning in. We love getting to do this. We hope that this brings you all some fun, some joy, because even if it's not still 2020, the world definitely still needs a lot more of that. And I think that will do it for us. So from everyone here at Helpful Goat, have a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves and to each other. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.